Something smells like it's burning.
Candle.
Mm.
Still haven't gotten the notification that you're live.
Congratulations. You found yourself in that strange part of the internet again, but it's okay. You're here with us. My name is Chris. This is Gus. This is Alex. Welcome to the Death Taco podcast. And as you've seen from the title, today we're here to talk about Home Alone. I blanked on the year. 1990. I wouldn't have guessed it was that old. Like, do you remember? Because you're a little bit older than me.
Dude, I was 2 when that movie came out.
Listen, bro.
And I didn't speak English yet.
Now I just got the
You saw it in
notification.
Spanish when the motherfucker came out.
No, I learned English and saw it in school years later.
I just got the notification that you went live, so I think it might be delayed a little bit. Good to know.
There's some delays.
I don't want to wait too long because when I upload the thing, right, like the video is gonna process. Say if we got like dead air for like 40 seconds, that's a bitch to edit out of like the audio part I have to upload. So I upload it and there's like 40 seconds of fucking dead air, and then we start speaking. So that's why, like, I want to be able to do it where it's like you're live and you wait for the viewers to build up and shit. But
You need to get a waiting screen, like starting soon. That's how you kill those 40 seconds.
oh, I do,
You do. I just.
but it doesn't translate to audio.
That and it doesn't have like a countdown to anything like that. But anyways,
But
Things to work on.
I want to get this out of the way. So I was given a screwball, gifted a screwball by my guy Gus here. So we're gonna get these shots out of the way, as per the usual.
Oh, this chair hurts my butt.
remember, Chris, we gotta work up for those rotating chairs.
We'll get there someday, guys.
One day we'll get nice chairs so butt doesn't hurt.
Ooh,
It really does.
that's interesting. That's good though. Smooth. Feel it in the nose.
Yeah, I felt that too.
I forgot to hit the button when we did that.
Oh shit.
Death taco, the death taco, ha. The death taco, the death taco, ha.
I think the peanut butter.
Huh?
After you give it a little bit, peanut butter is like really strong there.
Yeah. So you guys have clearly seen Home Alone, I would hope, at some point in your lives.
Yeah, I think I've seen it like 4 times in the last week.
Really, bro?
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
I saw it. I saw like 30 minutes of it by myself when we talked about it.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it all. And then I went and watched it with my girlfriend yesterday. When I got home and Alex was watching it, and then I just watched the rest of it with Alex. So I watched it 3 times, I'm sorry. In the last week.
Do you guys remember seeing it like as children?
I remember seeing Home Alone 2 as a child.
Ah, okay, the Lost in New York one.
I was watching this movie and I was like, when is the last time I watched this movie? Because like I couldn't remember. Like,
Probably when you were little.
and it was probably when I was little is when I watched it a lot. Because watching it now, like out through the years, I was like, I feel like I haven't seen this part. Remember this part from the movie?
I had that too, but it's been so long since I've seen it.
That's what I was like. I don't remember how long it's been.
I vividly remember like having the VHS copy of the motherfucker, like watching it on like VCR.
Yeah. We probably still do have it.
We have a lot of VHSs
We have this weird like
collection.
no, we have this weird like TV fucking armoire, I guess you'd call it or whatever. It's like fucking Matrix looking shit that slides out and it has like a bunch of slots for DVDs.
Like a giant fucking time capsule.
Dude,
just
it's weird.
sitting.
It's weird, bro.
I
I don't know
was-
how my parents found it.
I was gonna say if you would have gone New Year's, we would have showed you, but I forgot you're not gonna.
Well,
Well, that's money right there. Too bad you're gonna lose it all to taxes.
clearly.
Clearly,
No, but back to this. So, what's your guys' favorite holiday movie in general?
Overall,
Yeah.
oof.
a holiday movie. I'm not a real big holiday movie guy.
How many do you even know if you think about it?
For what holiday?
Christmas.
I mean, you got this. The second one, you got Die Hard, which is, some people call it a Christmas movie. You have, golly, what else is in there? Kids movie wise, Christmas Carol, that Adam Sandler Christmas movie.
8 Crazy Nights.
Yeah,
What's that one Arnold Schwarzenegger movie?
Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's my favorite.
Really?
Because I saw that as a kid, and I don't know why it just resonates really well.
You got Elf. That's a big one for a lot of people.
Elf's a good one.
I remember seeing Elf a lot in like school when it was Christmas time.
What about them
You got
throwback ones, bro?
Frosty the Snowman. You got Jack Frost. I think Jack Frost was... No, Jack Frost was the regular one, not the spooky one.
Yeah. The claymation Rudolph the Reindeer, the fucking Charlie Brown Christmas specials.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah. I mean, but and then a lot of shows have a Christmas special movie type of thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of random shit out there like that.
So you guys wouldn't say you hold any like near and dear more so than the others?
I don't hold any movie near and dear to me. Like movie wise, like I like funny movies, like comedy movies. Like if you look at my DVD collection, they're all funny movies. Very few horror movies and very few like I do like some action movies. Like I have all the Expendables, all the Rambos, all the Aliens, all the Predator. No, I don't have all the Predators. Maybe I do have all the Predators. You know, just like the sagas or the trilogies or whatever. But like most of mine is watching a funny movie. Like when I watch a movie, I want to be entertained. I don't want to be sitting there like I feel festive. You know.
So in general, do you not consider yourself a big Christmas person?
No, I like Christmas. I like the ambience of it.
There is something peaceful about it.
Yeah, it's nice. It gives you perspective.
Yeah, I think as I've grown as an adult, I've become more fond of Christmas than as before. Because when you're in the receiving position, I feel like sometimes you have expectations that are hard to meet. As opposed to when you're in the giving role, right? The older you get, you can deal out like a fire gift. So it's like, oh, this is gonna be
Yeah. No, I completely agree, and I think that's the joy and the tragedy of having money. Because whenever, like we were talking about it yesterday, I was like, Christmas doesn't mean much to me because like we were talking like yesterday, we were giving gifts to each other. We were giving each other just kind of random gifts, like, but we know each one of us can go buy whatever it is we want. Like the next day, if we really, really wanted it, any one of us could go outside and buy it.
Christmas is every day.
You missed it. All of us got a
Oh,
Bluetooth hoodie or not
Bluetooth
hoodie,
beanies.
Bluetooth beanies.
Yeah, they got them on Amazon for like a 30 pack, and then just gave all of us one.
Oh, dude, I'm so bummed out I didn't get to go to that.
It was fun. You
It
would have
was
fun.
fun, yeah.
Moy showed up. Everybody,
Everyone showed up for it, which was like Christmas miracle.
pretty much. Food was fire. We didn't play any games because we just kind of just fumbled into stuff.
It was weird because it's like we never go into like Christmas like that super early.
Dude, we were done by like 10 or 10, 11. And then we were like
All right,
just
let's
hanging out for a little bit.
It was like normally wait till like midnight or something, or at least close to midnight.
But see, that's the thing though. Like our Christmases have changed so much from depending on how much kids are in our family.
Yeah.
Like now it's just basically the twins Bella and Checho and that's it. So Christmas is like really fast. Before when there wasn't as many, it was more like a adult thing. So it was super long. We would leave like 3 a.m. type of thing. It'd be more like a party. Now it's just like the kids aren't gonna be up this late. Let's give them the gifts.
It's a kickback now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like I was like, why are we doing this at 8 p.m.?
Yeah, we had to be there at 6.
Well,
got there at 7.
not even that, but it's like I'm saying like, why are we opening up gifts like already at 8 p.m.? Like it wasn't even midnight when we were already done with everything.
Yeah, but like think about the twins and Checho and Bella probably go to sleep at like 10, 11.
Sometimes Bella asleep.
Whatever.
Exactly. I'm sure Checho's the same way, and I'm sure the Bella twins are the same, or the twins.
Yeah, but it's the thing is, like I'm saying though, like the more we're going, it's just like get over with that part. Like the gifting part, it's mostly for the kids now.
Bro, I genuinely can't stand the wait. Once I buy somebody something, I want them to open it like at that fucking moment, bro.
That's how I am too.
Like we opened our shit on Christmas Eve. Like literally the moment I woke up on Christmas Eve, like at noon, because I got off at night, I was like, fuck this. I was like, open my shit. I've waited because I bought it like a month prior, so every day has been like pulling teeth to not be like, open that motherfucker now.
Yeah, but see, I don't have that problem. I've been buying my gifts slowly through Black Friday till pretty much a week ago.
So you can sit on them for a minute.
I was like, I'm with you on that because like you buy and you're like, oh, I know they're really gonna like it, and you're like, oh, I just want to see like their reaction to it. So I understand how you are because that's how I am too.
I'm not like that. No, I'm a complete opposite of you guys.
Patient bear.
Not even that. I think about when I buy somebody and I see like, am I going in the right direction? Like Alex's gift was a bitch.
but it was really good.
What was it?
It was would it be a poster technically?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You told me what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You liked them?
Yeah, it was really cool. It's like
But that was a month worth of shit getting together.
because he was explaining to me how it worked out, and it's like I was like, damn, we really put that much effort into getting it.
Yeah, and I bought a backup gift because I didn't think it was gonna show up. So then I was like, well, here's 2.
And I was like, I'll take it. No, because before I opened it, I was like, are you sure? I mean, I have the real one here. He's like, yeah, it's like, fuck it, just open
Yeah,
it.
but see, that's my thing. I don't know why, but I have this thing where I buy something. They're like, do you want a receipt? Nope. Do you want a receipt for it? Nope. If they don't like it, they can keep it.
They can sell the motherfucker on Facebook.
Right.
Fuck them.
Give that
I
shit
mean,
away.
that's fair though, because I mean, like, you're like, well, I got you this because I thought you like it. If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's not my fucking problem anymore.
My boy Calvin in the chat. Merry Christmas to you also, brother.
Merry Christmas to
Merry
the
Christmas
3
to you.
viewers that we got right now.
Merry Christmas to the other 2.
All right, but back into the topic of the goddamn movie.
Oh, forgot about that.
So, directed by a dude named Chris Columbus. It's a very unfortunate name currently. I'm sure it wasn't at the time. I feel like public opinion on Christopher Columbus has swayed slightly in the past couple of years.
I think we just started a little.
Just a little bit, you know?
Heavily.
A little bit.
Indigenous People Day now.
He said he got his homies 2 gifts. What did he say?
Before you get into that, the composer for the
Oh yeah, he did.
soundtrack,
It's pretty fire.
the composer for the soundtrack needs a shout out too. Like he did 1 and 2, I believe, but he did like if you listen to the subtle of the music, like the subtle hints of music that get thrown in there sometimes, it's like very very well.
You're
done.
talking about like the intro and shit, bro? That shit's iconic.
Like if you look at like sometimes they recycle a few little songs here and there in 1 and 2. Like I'm talking about the second one too now.
Yeah.
But I think his name was like John Williams or something like that. He was the composer for the movie, but he's composed like Star Wars and all sorts of shit. But the way that he timed the music and certain things it's really well done.
Immediately, like, once the fucking movie turned on, I was kind of like, and I heard the initial, just the intro jingle, I was like, oh,
That's iconic.
oh.
It's iconic.
You know what this is.
It's iconic.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's a beat, my
Dun,
guy.
dun, dun, dun.
It's a whole different song.
Start rapping.
Yeah.
You should
Yeah.
do that. Just do that. Do a Christmas rap
Do the Christmas rap.
on stream right now.
It's gonna all end in like jerking off references in the movies about
Yeah,
a child. Let's skip it.
Okay. He's Calvin says do it. Calvin
Calvin.
says if you donate $5 right now, he will.
Alex knows the deal. This monkey will dance for cash.
Subscribe now to see him freestyle. And he'll take his shirt off.
Bro, I'll pour this entire like bottle all over my body.
Jesus Christ.
No, but so this dude directed a fuck ton of movies, like iconic movies in my opinion. What was the name? Chris Columbus. Like when I was going down his like filmography, the dude has crazy shit. That like I can't believe one dude directed. Like he didn't direct, but he was a writer on Gremlins, a
Little
writer
Nemo.
on The Goonies. Mrs. Doubtfire he directed. Bicentennial Man, the first 2 Harry Potter movies. I definitely get that vibe from all those movies. These are all
Yeah,
very
like if you think about Home Alone and
Wait, go back up.
Mrs. Doubtfire, you can see some like like cinema similarities, like the way that they shot it.
I was like, wait, Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland? Or Slumberland? Like what?
what?
It says Little Nemo.
Maybe like a straight to DVD movie, like it's a little spin off.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
cartoon.
I was
like
like,
a fucking anime.
that looks pretty cool. I was like, Little Nemo. I was like, I don't know. Okay.
There's a porno on there too.
But anyways,
He directed a bunch of offshoot pornos.
Yeah,
just in case.
gotta keep that resume hot.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were you saying?
But no, so like would you guys say that watching it now as adults, do you think the film holds up?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You don't think so? What about it?
I was like, I watched this movie and I was like, as a kid, I understand why it's like a fun movie. As an adult, I guess if you start to be like, this is very cringy. But at least it's a kid actor, so I was like, what do you expect from a kid actor?
What do you think is an example of a movie to you guys that doesn't hold up?
That's a bad question for me.
Why do you say that?
Because I can name a shit ton.
I think of like any 80s movie that like shows the computer.
I can think of a lot of movies with a bad script.
How so?
This one had a bad script. Because when you're a kid, you're like intrigued. You're like, oh, that could be me. But then I was thinking about it with Alex yesterday. And I was like, dude, that's like Bella. Imagine Bella. Like, she doesn't have.
It does seem, unplausible.
Exactly.
Implausible. I don't know what the word is.
Impossible.
Like where he's like running around fucking grocery shopping.
Not even that. Not even that. Like, as a kid, I don't know about you, but like me, myself, I don't know about Alex. Like, if that were me, it'd be impossible. How, like, imagine you going to Walmart. Not even Walmart. Imagine you going on a trip and you're like, all right, Bella's not here. Don't notice until you're already on the plane. You know what I mean? Not even through. I mean, I guess they didn't have TSA back then, but not even like even when they were out boarding, they're like, I have this extra ticket. Where's Kevin?
Yeah, especially if you have like this family. That was another thing. There was a fuck ton of kids in this movie.
They had 6 kids in the family. He had 5 siblings.
Exactly.
And then the uncle, and then had their 6 kids, or what was it, 5 kids, something like that.
Yes, and we have a lot of experiences being Mexican people with big ass families, or at least multiple kids. 3+ kids. Mm-hmm. When you have the youngest takes priority over literally everyone because you have faith that the older kids are gonna follow suit. But the youngest one, the baby, you take special care to go like, this motherfucker is gonna hold my hand. But then again, this was 1990, so maybe.
Nah, that doesn't change.
You think?
No.
Because it's like,
It'd be like, imagine when you guys went to Colorado. Imagine like you forgot Bella was there the whole time.
Yeah.
yeah, because it's like, how do you forget your own child? Like,
I mean, granted, it's a plot of a movie. It's not
Yeah.
like based on real events that happened 2 weeks ago type of shit.
I mean, yeah.
I think the biggest thing is like, what you have to get past that level. Once you get past that level of this would never happen, it's a great movie. It's entertaining.
I guess that's true.
But if you
probably
think, if you sit there and nitpick it, like there's so many pieces where you could be like, okay, that right there would be the roll credits. Movie's over. Like the cop showed up unsolicited in the first scene of the movie. Be like, the guy was like, "Are you here to arrest me?" Like the dad was like, "Why are you here?"
You mean like how the dude's just standing around in the house
Yeah,
and nobody
and
acknowledges him?
Yeah, exactly. And then that there right there, like, why is this cop here? And then they're leaving out of town, and then I guess the whole neighborhood is also on vacation too because nobody fucking notices, and the police department's just like, meh.
Yeah, I think that intro scene was just to show that it's a dynamic household and everybody's busy.
But that wasn't even that because they had a lot of people that just came into town, so that's not how it is normally. Mm-hmm. So it's just showing you, like it was an unnecessary scene to show you how many people were in the house at one time, and the guy was scoping out the scene. But he said he's been working on that house. He's been looking at that house for the longest when they're sitting in the van. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of other things that when you watch the movie, you're like, if you're not sold on the idea of it's just a movie, you're just watching it for fun. There's a lot of things that you're like, what the hell? Like one of the things that I was telling Alex yesterday, I was like, no, I was telling my girlfriend yesterday. The little boy goes outside. He sees the villain's van in his neighbor's driveway, and he's like, the Murphys are out of town.
Then
Okay.
he throws up his shoulders, right?
Yeah, and then they're in there. They get out. He's walking down the street. Van pulls up and almost hits him. He sees 2 people in the car, and he gets freaked out. He's like, at that point, he's like, those aren't the Murphys. That van was just at that house a minute ago. Clearly, they're not from there. No, he just walks and then kind of doesn't piece it together.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is like the van was like a plumbing thing. So like that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, but he said it himself. The Murphys aren't there. Why would there be somebody there working on the house when they're not
There's
there?
people that work on their houses when you're gone.
Yeah, not in that neighborhood.
I mean, yeah,
But you get what I'm saying? Like, there's just little pieces like that. Like, and then he goes and buys a toothbrush, and the people call him chasing for shoplifting. Like, at that point, you're like, my parents aren't here. If he doesn't know how to work a phone or the phones don't work, if that's the reason why, he ran into a police officer. He could have been like, hey, my parents aren't in town. Blank. Roll credits.
it was kind of weird how he was running away from the cop, and then at the end he was like, "I'm a shoplifter. Or I'm a criminal."
Yeah, that was the thing that threw me off. Is so the climax of the movie. We're just gonna jump ahead for a second.
Sure,
When he's like starting the initial plot to like set the house up for the big scene for the break-in, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And after all of the shenanigans happens, his like last move in his whole like rig of traps. Now I'm gonna call the cops after the treehouse scene. After I've gone through this whole
But
fucking
and that's what I mean.
20-minute ordeal.
And that's what I mean, that the writing in the movie has a lot of holes in it.
Like, why wouldn't immediately at the first sign of these dudes anywhere near the crib, hey, these dudes are outside?
Well, not even
then do
that.
all the shit?
Not even that. I'll stop you there. Not even that. Like, imagine you being a police officer, and they're like, "Hey, listen, this child has been left there." They go knock on the door. He's like, "Oh, he's not answering the door. Obviously, he's not here." Like, that's horrible police work. Clearly, he's afraid to answer the door or asleep in that big ass house that he can't hear you. But apparently, the acoustics in the house are amazing because he's in the back room where the kitchen is watching a movie on the TV, a small ass TV that's black and white still, and they can hear the gunshots all the way outside when both Harry and the pizza guy take off running.
Yeah.
So
They like approach the back door though for that part, don't they?
both of them did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both of them do.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, if you have to get past, it's just like the horror movie. You have to get past all the bad writing, and then you're like, it's an enjoyable movie. Like, we were talking about The Witch last week. You get past all the shitty details in it, you're like, not bad.
Yeah. And when I say does the movie hold up, I mean, do you think a child could watch it nowadays?
Oh, absolutely, they'd be entertained.
Yeah.
Because, like, imagine a kid trying to watch The Christmas Story. I feel like kids can't relate to a Christmas
I
story.
think that
for
movie is too
shit.
slow at pacing.
Yeah.
I think this movie is fun because they can see the little boy acting like they would act in a sense, and then he starts getting into mischief, and it keeps it entertaining.
Yeah.
That's why I like the second one more because I think that one does everything more on a grander scale. The first one to me seems like so basic and smooth that the second one raised the ante up, and I think that's better. Another thing too is whenever they get injured, they focus in a lot, like not injured, but whenever they get stuck on crap or whenever they get attached to any of the traps, the acting from Joe Pesci and the other gentleman is really good, and it gives a lot of like emotional range to them. So the people watching, they're like, oh, that's like when he falls on the stairs, I laughed. When he slipped and he fell down the stairs, I laughed. I thought it was funny.
Yeah. I'm not big on slapstick humor. I've never been big on that. So, like, something Macaulay Culkin, who plays Kevin McAllister, does a lot is he does he has a
The
very
little face.
the very distinct, the face, the arm flailing. Like, I think it's hilarious just in terms of irony, but I remember even as a kid, like, that wasn't necessarily my thing. Like the pizza driver running over the statue constantly, people tripping and they falling. That's just not necessarily what.
You find funny.
Yes, but I see why it is.
I mean, I'm telling you, like, this is a movie where you put it on, people are at your house, or you're just doing something in the background, wrapping gifts. It hits all the cylinders perfectly. If you sit there and analyze it, you're like, oh, why would they? Oh, why this? Oh, why this? But that's a lot of movies. I think this was written for a Christmas holiday, let me take my kids to the movies while my wife shops type of thing, and we're all going to have a good time, and that's it. It's not a, heavy hitter to the book. And actually, there's a book, a Home Alone book.
I wonder what the fuck it's about.
Just the whole movie.
Like, was it written after the movie, or is the movie based on the book?
I don't know. I don't have that much interest in finding out.
I didn't either.
I was gonna say, remember Overkill? Or what was it? What was that movie that we did? It was a zombie movie, Nazi one.
Overlord.
Overlord. That I was like, is it Overkill or Overlord? I was like, you remember how we both said that those are like a really good movie and like nothing's wrong with it except for like maybe like one or two nitpicks.
Yeah.
I wonder how Gus would react to that, considering that we both thought that was like a good written movie.
You've never seen Overlord?
No.
It's recommended. If you like Nazis, violence, and zombies, it's a good movie.
But anyways,
I'm not a supporter of the Nazi regime.
You'd probably love this movie then.
great movie for you. Recommended.
I'll watch it. What's it on?
It was on Hulu.
I have the DVD, so I could give it to you.
If it's on Hulu, I can look it up right now.
I don't know if it still is. But anyways,
What's it called?
Overlord.
Overload.
Nah, but for me personally, I would say the movie holds up because, like I said, the thing that takes me out of films a lot is technology when it's like in the
on
time too
Paramount
much,
Plus.
like
You can
on the
watch it.
front. For example, like Ferris Bueller when they're typing away on computers, or any movie that fucking Matthew Broderick was in.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's
it
the movie
is.
called? War Games and shit.
Sort of. Just shout out to T-Mobile for having their shitty service that I never have service anywhere.
But yeah, like nothing distracts me too much.
Just also sponsorship.
Yeah, fuck that. You don't want that sponsorship. They suck.
What, T-Mobile?
Yeah, dude, I never have service on this iPhone.
But anyways, Go on.
So something that like bothered me right off the bat is right at the beginning of the movie, it's very apparent that everyone in the house hates Kevin.
I wouldn't say hate.
They hate Kevin.
I wouldn't say
I was thinking. I
Bro,
was
they
thinking
treat
that too.
Kevin like, yo, this
But
asshole.
that's how kids treat their brothers. Like
Even the uncle, bro.
Yeah, but that's probably his
Shitty family.
Even the mother was like, she's like patient with him, but you could tell she's definitely like this.
Think about it
Dude,
though.
slap
Think
him.
about it. Like think about the situation that they're in. They're packing to go to on an international.
They're all
trip.
stressed out.
Yeah.
So I get it, but
So it's not like she's like, "Fuck Kevin, I'm gonna hit you," and she's not going off on him. She doesn't like strangle him. She's just like, "Dude, can you go fucking do something else while I get my stuff
I
together?"
don't know, being like go to the roof and I don't want to see you for the rest of the day. It's like I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a little extreme.
Go commit suicide.
Bro, like every single member of his family in like the
Said
first
something,
2 minutes of the movie pretty much goes.
Listen here, you beautiful bitch. I'm about to fuck you up with some truth.
That's more or less what they all tell him.
Basically. But if you see as the movie progresses, they all change their attitudes and their real nature of how they feel about Kevin comes out.
True.
It's that aspect where you're like, I hate my family, and then you're like later down, you're like, no, I really do love my family.
Well, yeah, they all go through a journey just by the fact of him missing.
Yeah.
As does Kevin once he's on his own.
Because then he's like, oh, I don't want to see you guys, and he's like, my wish came true, and then after like a couple days, he's like, oh, I really miss my family. It's like,
Yeah, it's just you're just in that moment of emotions and you overreact. I think that's what it is.
but I don't know, shitty parenting. Agree or disagree?
Shitty parenting?
Yeah.
Some movie.
In the movie.
I don't know, dude. I feel like they set it up well. Like when the little neighbor kid jumps in the fucking lineup when they're doing the count.
Mm-hmm.
When they like entrust the older kids, hey, make sure they're all there. Okay.
Well, that gave him that only gave him a small pass time wise to be like, oh, that's understandable. The airport would have been like,
Yeah, but once you're like all in the airport and like I said, you would say, okay, where's the baby?
or I have an extra ticket. Where's Kevin?
They're on the plane,
Because
bro.
didn't they all just like run into the plane? Like,
Yeah, they all sprinted through but still you
Yeah.
hold on to somebody's
Ex-
fucking hand,
bro,
bro.
I'm telling you, it's just imagine you and Bella. There's no way in hell that you leave her.
No.
Absolutely not. But that's
But then
what I'm
again,
telling
it's
you.
hard to say because that's my sole responsibility. Imagine if I had 5 of them.
Yeah, but you just said it yourself.
The baby, you would go out
You
of your
lean
way.
on the older ones to get their shit together and follow suit, or be like, "Hey, listen, you're responsible now. Here you go."
That's fair.
Yeah. And also, I've never been to an airport. Like,
What?
I
Yeah,
forgot
never-
you haven't flown at all.
no, I mean, I've visited an airport once at 1 a.m. to pick someone up, but I feel like that's
Wait,
not a
how
good...
the fuck are you this? I've never done so many things in life, person.
Bro, it's part of my gift, all right?
I guess
I have the
so.
perspective of this room, these 4
You
walls.
know that meme where SpongeBob is sitting at the table with a little coffee in front of him and he's just sitting there? Like, that's you in life.
Pretty much, bro.
Like, you haven't experienced a bunch of stuff.
No, but I got a lot of things to say about him.
You know what I feel about
I'm
those
kind of an
airports?
expert on nothing.
I'm an expert.
You know
of
about
what
those
I haven't done.
airports. You know what I hate about MCI?
Fucking flight, right? Yeah, but so is that like realistic of what the airport is like at all?
No.
So I've been to a lot of airports. Houston is a big one. LAX is massive. Dallas Fort Worth is pretty big. MCI is tiny. Indianapolis is mid range. North Carolina is mid range. Tennessee is pretty average. Thing about that is MCI is a really small one. So you walk in. Imagine you walk in. Your gate is like a big
Circle.
no, it's like a big arch. So you go in. You find your gate. You can't go past the first room of just hallway until you get past TSA. So you have to stand in line. I mean, I guess TSA wasn't a thing back then. So
That's what I was gonna say. This is pre-2000,
right. So I'm sure you could get past the metal detector part and the TSA part, and then you're just sitting in the waiting room there. And they ran straight to the gate there to board. Basically, you're skipping all the TSA part when you go to MCI. You sit in the waiting room, and then you go to your gate. There, they check your ticket. You get on your plane. They board by. Well, I guess you've never been. Whenever you get on an airplane, depending on the airline, depends on how you board. So some have assigned seating, some have open seating like Southwest. Some have first class, some don't. So it depends on how it is and which airline it depends on when you get on. So imagine they're all like the parents flew first class. I think maybe that was the second one then. I don't know. was it? The kids were all in the back with one adult. You know, so I'm assuming they got on first. They were just assuming that everybody was there. That'd be the only thing that I could say about them for getting Kevin at the airport. But even then, they're still handing out tickets to kids. So
No, because she handed the kids the tickets. She handed the tickets to the lady, and the kids all just ran through to the airport or the airplane.
yeah, that's not how it works at the airport.
I mean, that's I guess their way of not
But
noticing.
I'm telling you, this movie, you can't sit there and it's just like a horror movie. You can't if you sit there and think
You can't
about
break it down to the details.
you break it down, it's gonna make no sense. You're gonna stop the movie at 20 minutes in, be like, all right, we found out he's not here.
Like we don't. I guess it's true because we don't need to see them like really checking in at an airport. Those are all unnecessary details. We just need to know they're in a hurry and that's why they forgot.
Because then at that point it would be like a kidnap movie. Because it'd be like, where's Kevin? Like, lost him at an airport or something. Like, we're like, where is he? So we gotta find
then
him.
it turns into Taken.
Yeah.
True.
Maybe that's your loophole right there. How you're trying to figure out. Mm-hmm.
You really need to put the headphones on, bro. Because every time you move the mic, you're cutting away terribly.
Good.
I can't even
Fine.
But no, I think it's a good, fun movie. I think I'm a bigger fan of the second one because I didn't get to catch the second one online on a stream throughout the week. But I just think it's a better written movie and it's a lot more, how can I say? I guess the way to say it's just more entertaining all around.
It's interesting how you say that. Because you said that, I pulled up the Rotten Tomatoes score for each one.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, the first one, universally beloved. Second one, 35% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Is that because Donald Trump is in it?
Probably.
Didn't they remove him in one of the edits?
I don't know.
I remember reading about that.
That is too funny if they did.
I remember when he was getting like super controversial and everything. That I don't know if it was 100% true or not, but that they edited him out of the Home Alone 2 movie.
Really?
But I don't know if it was like 100% like they did that or it was just like someone made an edit of him without it in it.
Somebody.
So Kevin just talks to nobody and then he just walks away.
Well, it's edited because he just like looks up and then like it goes to the next scene or like he keeps walking or something instead of like Trump being there and like talking to him, be like, hey, what's up or whatever.
Just a picture of Obama.
I was like, I don't know if like
And then it just has like a voiceover says, "Hey Obama, great job," and he's like,
We don't talk about
"Thanks,
that."
Kevin." And then the roll credits.
But something else I thought was weird is at the end, right?
Yeah.
When the wife decides she's going to wait at the airport when they realize Kevin is there and they can't do jack shit.
Go on.
Everybody goes to the hotel, and the wife runs into a musician in the form of John Candy,
Polka.
the polka musician. Now, I understand he's a comedy legend. So
Yes,
this
he
is all, he's pretty much there as just a comedic cameo. So everything about him emotes this vibe of friendliness and warmth and welcoming, correct? Especially at this time.
Or a serial killer.
No. In this time, bro, this is the equivalent of running into like Kevin Hart. Oh, it's Kevin Hart. He's a great guy. We all trust him. I'm going to hop in this dude's van with his 7 boys in the back of a U-Haul truck and drive cross country. And her husband's like, you go, babe.
His husband was still in Paris.
Exactly.
That's what he's saying. Like, yeah, you go do that.
Remember, she had to trade all that shit to get the flight from the 2 old people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so she has already like pawned everything just to get there.
Yeah.
So
She was
another
like,
thing about
is that a Rolex? Do you think it's a Rolex?
She'll be like, yes, it is.
Speaking of that lady was gorgeous. His mom. Fucking,
Oh, yeah.
I remember her from Beetlejuice, and I don't know why as a kid, maybe because they're older, you don't see it, but like, she had beautiful fucking eyes.
She did have what were they, blue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very attractive woman. But anyways, once again, she gets in the van with these dudes and drives cross country. Mm-hmm. It's very questionable decision making.
I guess as a parent, you're like, I don't care. So maybe parent instincts, maybe.
You do desperate things in desperate times.
The thing was, if you think about what happened, the guy said he could get her on a flight in the next 24 hours, roughly. That drive, I looked it up, is a 12-hour drive.
Well, that was going to be the final point is she goes on this epic quest and the husband gets there like 5 minutes after she does.
Direct flight from Paris to Chicago, apparently.
So she could have clearly just waited.
Yeah, but then again...
But again, it's for the sake of the movie.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's weird to like... I don't know. How would you guys feel like in that scenario? Once again, we're all desperate. But your woman's like,
well, it's
yo.
different because you're a man and
Correct.
she's not a man. And then it's a truck full of men, not a truck full of women. So it's different. You
Well,
can't.
I'm not like trying to say how do we think she should feel. I'm talking about how would you feel if your wife told you this story?
Like if she's telling me, yeah, I'm gonna leave. Like here's another thing too that I didn't get. They gave her 2 tickets at the Paris airport.
Yeah.
She only left. Why did the dad leave?
She wanted to be comfortable, bro. She put her bag right next to her.
Yeah, kicked her feet up. There was just a lot of like, see what I'm saying? Like I noticed that, and I was like, that's interesting. I don't make a big deal about it, but when I was like, why did only she leave? The poker guy turned around. He's like, oh, do you want to ride? And he just rambled on for 5 minutes, and then he's like, oh, well, actually, we're driving to there, and she's like, let's go right now. You know, you can't specify and be like, I would tell her no, you're not going out there. That's dangerous. Or you can be like, she needs to see her son that she has had no contact with.
No. I would definitively tell her no. I'd be
Yeah.
like, yo, don't hop in these dudes' van and drive across country, please.
I would say
Yeah.
I would say it this way. This is what I thought when I read it. When I was watching the movie, I was like, it's a 12-hour drive regardless. So even if you encounter 0 problems, it's a 12-hour drive. Flat tire, gas, road conditions, you name it happens. You're already a day out. You wait 24 hours or less, you're getting on a flight. Is that risk worth it? You know, and that's what I thought when I was watching the movie, but I was like, I'm just going to enjoy it. But that's what I would say. Like I like, and that's what I said. Like I stepped back and I thought about it. Like, what is the most rational answer? Like her pawning her shit to get the 2 tickets. Good, that was a good play. Getting there, they were in Pennsylvania. 12-hour drive. Not in Christmas time. Back then, it wasn't 70 degrees in December.
Yeah.
You know, and they're going through the northeast part of the United States. So I'm like,
Super snowy.
it's tough, dude. It's a lot of factors. What if it starts snowing? The flight gets delayed. Flight gets canceled.
And I understand, like,
So
the
it's-
end-all, be-all, like, answer to all of these things we're talking about. It's a fucking movie.
Yeah.
For entertainment purposes. I know why she has to go on this journey. It's showing what a mother will do for her child, anything in these circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everything but
Still wanna point at the
everything
motherfucker.
everything but make sure that her son is on the goddamn plane.
Oh, yeah. No, that's too much, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, I am willing to get into this van with these people that might rape me or kill me, but you better not hold me accountable with me forgetting that you're there.
So, also now, we talk about the local legend, the fucking shovel banging old man.
Oh, Murray.
Yeah. I love that, like, little plot element they did at the beginning where the kid tells this, like, urban fucking legend.
Oh, his cousin.
Yeah. Is his cousin or his brother?
I think it was.
I think it's the brother.
Buzz is his brother.
Buzz was the brother. So he's telling him, like, this fucking crazy
But why
ass-
would he tell him if he lives there? Shouldn't he already know?
Well, you're trying to just scare your little brother.
Yeah, but it's like I'm sure that's not the first time that's come to mind. Where like, remember Murray? I'm sorry. Like,
Well, I mean, it's like a little kid. You don't really like care what people are up to or what they do or for a living or whatever. You're just like, oh hey, and you're like, who are you? You have to think of it as a kid perspective, because like then it's like how you said. If you think of it as an adult, you're like, that doesn't make no sense.
I guess what they're doing is they're just story building.
But yeah, because like I said, for a kid, you're, like Bella, she's not gonna go to someone and be like, "You're a massive murderer" or whatever. She'd be like, "Who are you?" Type of thing. Like she doesn't care like who he is or anything.
Well, she probably doesn't know what a mass murderer is.
Exactly.
But
So it's
yeah.
like he's like, well, "What is that?" Or if he does, he has very little knowledge of it.
Even then, I think the way that they just threw that in there to have some sort of side plot type of thing.
I mean, yeah, that's what it was for.
What?
Well, I mean, you guys understand how the old man works into the overall story, correct?
Yeah.
At the end of the film, he's kind of you guys know the story of Scrooge, right?
Yeah.
He's the old grumpy fuck. He gets a visit from past, present, future.
But see, that's the thing though. He was never grumpy. They just ran from him every time they saw him. He never even got a word out until he met him at church.
Well, no, not him. Fucking Kevin. Kevin is Scrooge in this story. Because the beginning of it, he's an asshole. He's ungrateful. He hates his entire family. So him going through the whole process of them not being there is him growing as a person, seeing he's
think that's
dependent
a stretch.
upon them. No. The old man at the end then is the glimpse into the future because the old man tells him this story about how he never appreciated his family. He didn't get along with his family. Now he was alone at the end of it. And that's kind of Kevin, like, getting a peek into behind the
Yeah,
curtain.
but if you reminisce on that part when they were at the church, Kevin gave him advice.
correct, but he was also
Getting
hearing and
advice.
taking in it. Pretty much, he's getting like perspective.
Yeah, but he asked them about why he's there, and then he's like, "Oh, well, I'm here to see my granddaughter because can't visit her." And then he just went on to this spiel talking to an 8-year-old about his life problems, and then he's like, "You're a little too scared to be not calling him," and he's like, "You're never too old to be scared," and I'm like, "That's horrible advice to give an 8-year-old." But then he's like, "Oh, I'll see you later. Shouldn't you be home?" And then you're like, "All right, plot insertion over." But if you look at it, like I think that's where people start giving the plot more than it was actually aiming for. And that's where all these Home Alone conspiracy theories came out of, where people just are like, well, this plot is okay, but if I really think about it really hard and I can make up all these connections, I can make it greater than it really was.
Well, no, that's just my interpretation of what the old man represented.
I wouldn't say that, because that's saying like this movie was that thought out.
I would think it was, because they could have just really had the fucking old man be the fucking
in this
neighborhood
movie,
slasher.
if they thought out that deeply and that far ahead, they would have made you know that they did.
I would almost say that they had to have, because why would they have the conversation in the church to
If
begin with?
that was the case, the end scene would have been a lot longer when he meets his kid.
Have you ever had an experience, Chris, where like you meet some completely stranger, but they like you talk to them or like and something clicks or they give you advice that you're like, oh shit, I didn't think I needed that, but then you kind of like over time you're like, oh shit, I'm glad they told me that or I something like that.
Not really.
Have you?
I'm sure at some point in my life.
Because I'm like, that's basically what it is, where it's like you meet a complete stranger, but somehow whatever they talk to you about or whatever they say.
He's like, thanks, Kevin. I never heard that before. Nah, we'll
no,
talk to
but
my
it's
son.
like, it's more of like,
Thanks,
hey,
8-year-old boy.
Hey, it's more of like, maybe people tell you the same thing. You should call your son. And you're like, no, I don't want to or whatever. But then some little kid's like, you should call your son. And he kind of like thinks about it and he's like, you know what? I don't know what it is about that little kid or whatever, but it's like, you know what? I should do it.
It's like that Simpsons meme. He's like, why didn't I think of that?
No, because I think, right, like, because like you said, he could have just met the old man. The old man could have presented himself as, no, I'm not mean. I'm friendly. But the reason for them to have the dialogue at all regarding family is a direct parallel to Kevin's family.
Yeah, but I think you're assuming Kim hates his family. Because he's a
He
little
says it at
8-year-old.
the beginning.
Yeah, but he's an 8-year-old little kid. He doesn't know what the word hate means.
I know, but he's going on a hero's journey. It's growth. He
Be
wouldn't
that,
have
as,
grown
be,
without
that,
this
as, be
experience.
that as it may be.
Because that's his point of being like, oh, you know what? You're right. I should love my family. But even though, yes, it's working on the emotions, like I said, it's for him to be like, this old man just made me think of something I didn't think about.
through
Yeah,
it.
but think about it like this, though. You're talking about an 8-year-old kid. They're not going to make those connections.
He built an entire fucking
Yeah.
legitimate architectural.
Yeah. Now we're going from the
structure.
movie
God.
plot to an actual 8-year-old little kid. Imagine you have that conversation with Bella. She's going to be like, okay, I'm sorry you don't talk to your son at best. She's not going to be like, well, sir, let's sit down and think about why you may need to fix your relationship with your son.
Well, that's why I think it was a direct.
It doesn't have
the
to be
director put it in there.
It doesn't have to be like, oh, well, let's talk about like a therapist session. It's just be like maybe something hate that she said, and you're like, you know what? Change my mind, and I got to do it now.
Does Bella have little friends?
Not really. Not
Okay.
at this age.
Okay, well, when she goes to school, right? She has little kids that she hangs out with, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, do you think any of those little kids would give you advice and you'd be like, damn, that's some hard-hitting advice?
It's not like
It's not that they're giving advice. It's just that sometimes kids cut through the bullshit and they'll tell you a straightforward point
They'll
that
tell
you
you,
don't
yeah.
even think of necessarily.
No, that's just, I mean, I guess. I get where you're going
Because even
from.
as a child,
it's like if Chris right now was like, hey, you really should, I don't know.
Yeah, but Chris has been alive longer than 8 years. And
You're not getting the point.
No, but even as a child, right? So I'm
you're not
like
getting the
12
point.
years old talking to my 30-year-old parents. Sometimes they would have issues with people, right? And I would say, and they
could
wouldn't know what
reminisce
to
on
do.
it.
And I would literally go, well, why don't you just call that person and say something? Mind you, it's not world-changing advice, but in their head, they're like, you know what? Yeah,
it's
I
something
probably
that
should fucking do
in your
this.
mind, like someone could tell you for like everyone you know can tell you that, but like say you meet a stranger and they tell you the same thing, you're like something just clicks where it's like, you know what, I should do that, even though people already told me to do that, and I was like, no, I don't want to. It's just something like
So the angle would be they would simplify something that seems more complicated, a complex situation. They might just spit out the simple answer.
That and something in the moment where it's like,
I
you know
would
what,
say
I
I
will.
wouldn't agree with that. I would say maybe it's more of that person was trying to lean on doing it, and then that little input was like, maybe I will go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the best we got.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that 8-year-olds influence decisions that heavily on people because they speak bluntly.
No. If you lived your
Anyways,
life like that, it'd be ridiculous.
I mean,
Fucking, I want a house made of chocolate.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was thinking about doing it. Let's do it. You're like, all right, buddy.
Yeah.
It's
But
like,
no, so yeah, that was, I don't know, that was just me, I guess. I guess maybe,
it was plot armor.
what do you mean?
It was plot armor for the movie.
So you don't see the Scrooge connection?
I think that's reaching.
Because I genuinely think that, like, the way they shaped Kevin McAllister was that he was on this little journey of self-pity.
I wouldn't say that. I don't know about self pity, maybe, but
At his age, that makes sense, but
here's the thing though. You have not been 8 years old for a very long time. You haven't either, and neither have I. So the emotions that an 8-year-old runs and the emotions and thoughts that an 8-year-old runs, we don't understand those anymore. You have an idea because of Bella, but we don't know what an 8-year-old white boy in Chicago suburbs feels. You know what I mean? So we can't sit there and be like, he was Scrooge McDuck, and now he's Jesus Christ.
well, no, in terms of story.
Well, hold on. Let me finish. Just follow me on this thought right here. To say that he hates his parents and all that, I wouldn't go that far. Like, obviously, he has squabbles with his brothers and his family. Who does it? 8-year-olds squabble with their parents all the time. They tell their parents, oh, I hate you. I wish I was with another family. Or did random shit like that. They don't mean it. They just say it because that's their default expression sometimes to people, you know? And they're like, oh, well, you don't love me, I'm going to run away type of shit. It's just their default answer to things, you know, because of TV or whatever. Things you see on the news, or I don't know if they watch the news. But it's not their actual thoughts and feelings. They're just going off an impulse of something that they think is dramatic enough to make it. They don't understand the
So do you
range
think,
of
I
things.
think this child, like, children actually hate their parents?
No, I'm not
I'm
saying
telling
that.
you, in terms of a movie, in terms of a story, it's a lesson. The entire movie, what's the point of the movie?
Right, but what I'm saying,
What's the overall message?
the message is that he loves his family.
Be grateful for what you have.
Yeah, I guess you could go with that one.
That was the overarching point of the movie. That's why these are all dots I'm connecting, because that's how they get that point across.
you didn't get that from the whole movie?
No, the point of the movie that I
No. Did you get that or did you not get that from the movie?
the point of the movie that I thought it was purveying was your family is you unconditionally love your family. So regardless of what, not that you need to have these other revelations, all that. It was just like, listen, your family is your family regardless. They love you regardless. Like, and this made them show that people that are like, oh no, I can do this without my family, really do need their
So in
families.
other words, he does think that it's grateful, but he wants to put it in his own words.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, in terms of the story, they want, because it's directed towards children. Children are watching this. They're watching this character. They've written him to be this, like I'm saying, what I'm describing as this terrible person. And how everyone acts towards him. They're shunning towards him. His actions are very immature. They're very...
childish.
childish. And we're just kind of watching him go through it.
Do you
get to that
think?
final
Do you think
destination.
8-year-olds have the capacity to have all that range of emotions and that revelation?
Yes. I think that they do receive those things subliminally. They can tell, like, okay, that's why I shouldn't act like this. Now, does it work? Possibly not. Maybe some kids, they do leave an impression on them.
All right, answer me this then, and then we'll see if. Would you say, or would you not say that an experience like that would traumatize him for life?
Oh, yeah.
And with that same answer, you're saying that he put that aside and still got the same concept at the end.
That's the gift of good storytelling. Being able to tell this
I don't know
story
about
while
all
doing
that.
Because
that.
I mean, in the end, he was all like, he looked at his mom and he's like, but then he's like, he went on and be like,
I guess my problem is that I'm trying to look at it at a realistic view.
You're trying to
and
think
you
of it as
guys
an
are
adult.
looking at it. No. I'm trying to look at it in a realistic, like, could this happen type of thing. And you guys are looking at it like a, what was the movie you're still looking at it as a movie.
Well, no, because you're looking at it as a child's movie, but it was written by a smart writer and a director and produced by John Hughes, who made many of great movies in the 80s that have these underlying messages.
I guess I'm just a I'm a really big person on not giving anything out for free, type of say.
Nah, I feel you.
With movies that like if you didn't earn it and specifically show that you're going in this angle, I'm not gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not gonna go out of my way and be like, oh, they were doing this and this and this and this and this, and have all these conspiracy theories when they were like, I don't know, bro. We just put it in there just to kill time.
Listen, I appreciate the pushback.
I'm
fuck
just saying.
you.
Because I get to flesh out ideas. Because recently I put out the Napoleon Dynamite TikTok like a week ago, correct?
Oh, you told me that 2 weeks ago.
It's got like 15K views. It's
Sheesh.
steadily rising.
Sheesh.
Right. And mind you, it's got almost 1,000 fucking likes.
I
And
wish I brought my other phone. That one sheesh by itself.
like 50 fucking comments. And a majority of the comments, I want to say 40 of the 50 are calling it a stretch. So there's 40 Gus's in my goddamn TikTok stream.
I can only handle one. Imagine 40.
Maybe I'm onto something.
No, correct. You're right. And like I said, that's why I appreciate how you're saying this. I'm getting to kind of flesh out my ideas slightly more. Even if I'm not swaying you, I feel like I'm still expunging upon my argument, kind of giving a little more clarity to certain
No,
things.
at the end of the day, your takeaway isn't my takeaway, and they don't need to be the same takeaways.
No, yeah. So I appreciate that. Like because even I'm like saying blanket statements and I'm kind of formulating the argument as we're going along this. I don't have this written. There's one line written on the paper that says old man.
Wow.
So I'm making this all up as we're going.
Yeah, I don't come in with the script.
Exactly. I don't either, clearly. So
Clearly, you do.
one word isn't a script.
There's more words than one on there.
See
He's
that
like, wait
little
a-
line that says old man?
Oh, what do the other words say?
They're just questions to ask you motherfuckers. Next page.
So anyway, here's my point.
So here was so because of that, right? Like you said, all these goofy online theories.
Yeah.
The biggest one out there, the throwaway one that I refuse to lean on like this bigger than 2 minutes, the Jigsaw Theory. From Saw.
That's a big ass stretch.
Exactly. Pretty much just because Jigsaw has traps.
That has the same merit as saying he is the next Hannibal Lecter.
How would you come to that conclusion, though?
As fucking ridiculous as that one is.
Well, no, Jigsaw sets traps. Kevin McAllister sets traps.
Yeah, and then the Hannibal Lecter sends mental traps.
Yeah, but these
When does he
weren't-
set a mental trap?
When he's near people.
These aren't mental
When he's
traps.
in prison,
these
he's fucking getting at all, trying to get them all.
These are physical traps, not mental traps.
Right, but what I'm saying, though, he evolved, and so he might have evolved, too, as a person.
I get what you're saying, though. It's as much of a stretch as that. That's why I don't want to lean too much even into that.
Or he could be like, he turned into John Rambo, and he sets physical traps, too, and kills people.
Right. But so I was thinking, like, what is another angle that I could take of something that I haven't heard before?
What do you mean?
Like,
So
what is
instead
another...
of saying the Jigsaw one, it'd be like, what?
John
what else is
Rambo.
No. Like, not even, like, what he turns into. But I was thinking of an angle, right? Think of every injury that all the...
there? Kurt Angle.
that the wet bandits got hurt with, right?
Yeah.
How did they get hurt? Burns,
Burn marks,
falls.
they fell.
Elements.
through the
Paint
foot.
cans, crowbar
cans.
damage.
Get the
They
elements
hit the
going
wall
on.
when he cut the cord.
Fire.
So once again,
Blowtorch.
looking too much into
Yeah.
this, right, and interpreting what I think those things could mean, looking way deeper into it than the director had any intention of it being. What if each of those specific things are cautionary tales for children that we've grown up with?
What
So
do you
what
mean?
do they tell you as a kid when you're
Don't
home
play with
alone?
fire.
Don't touch the stove because you'll burn yourself. Don't play with fire. Make sure you're wearing socks around the house, right? Because if you're not wearing socks, what might happen?
You'll get sick. Type.
No, you'll step on something.
You'll
Or
step on a
on
nail.
that.
You step on a blister, right?
I mean,
The
you
guy
still
gets
can
a
with
fucking
the
thing
sock
through his
on.
foot. I know, but it's less likely. Not really, but fucking.
Don't leave your toys out in the open.
You have a
someone can
safe
trip with
buffer in
them.
your mind, I guess.
Yeah, and fucking. I was talking to somebody at work. I was like, well, then what the fuck could the paint cans mean? Because like when he's throwing the paint cans on a
Don't
swing.
sniff the lacquer.
Well, no, don't step in front of a fucking swing at the park. But that has nothing to do with being home alone, so that's a stretch.
Eh.
I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that those are very specific ways for the guys to get hurt. I know it's in terms of for entertainment purposes, but it kind of does fit the narrative.
I didn't make any of those connections. I think that's a stretch.
Well, just because you didn't make them doesn't mean it's a stretch.
I don't know. I
I was thinking about it
now
really
hearing
fucking
you
hard.
say it, I guess it makes some sense, but I don't think that they went out of their way to be like, lesson.
But once again, that's why I figured out, right? There's a difference between theory and interpretation.
Right.
So this is my interpretation. This is my cheat sheet.
Yeah, I mean, I could get in there and just make up all sorts of crazy shit after
Well, it's
watching
like
Home Alone.
saying that's his opinion. This is your opinion.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying, I could get in there, but I just don't know that. You know?
It's a reach, though, for sure.
Yeah.
But no, that's just what I thought. Like, Each one of the injuries is very specific and could be a reference to a hazard of a child being home alone and a warning your parent would leave you with.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
This is why you're getting
Completely
canceled.
disagree.
Completely disagree.
Yeah, that's a stretch, my guy. Nate, what would be the lesson for the tarantula?
Don't play with insects. Kids are actually no. That starts from him climbing on the shelf, and he releases the
Okay.
spider. Don't climb on shit.
When he lit the fireworks in the kitchen and put the in a pot.
Don't light the fireworks in the house.
Why? No fire alarms went off. No fires cut off. Why would they?
Well, actually, here's another thing I was thinking of. I saw somebody mention this. It's shown early in the movie that Kevin has an incredible imagination. Correct?
Yeah.
When he's in the basement, he sees the furnace fucking the mouth open and it's calling his fucking name. So once again, this isn't something I've like thought too hard about. But what about the possibility that he imagined the entire thing with the burglars?
That would be true if the other house wasn't vandalized.
Well, no, the houses could have been burglarized, but still, maybe the guys just fucking came up to the door, he flicked the fucking light switch on, and they went away. But in his head, he imagined himself doing all of these.
That would have
fucking
been a
spectacular
multi-day
things.
hallucination.
This would have been a coma, sir.
Wait, no, but you say that would have been a multi-day hallucination. But go by what you know for a fact in the movie. How did he clean up the entire house before the fucking parents got home the next morning?
Well, he also, when he was at the church with the old man, it was 6 p.m. when the bell rung. You could see the clock. When he got there, they said that I think they were going to be back by 9. And if you watch when he's running home from that same scene, the houses start lighting up one at a time. Because when they're scoping out the area at the beginning of the movie, they're writing down the times that they have already for each house the lights to go on. So it shows you that he has less than an hour to set it all up.
Correct.
So he has time. And then that whole time where he's waiting for the cops to show up, I mean, he has plenty of time. The mom didn't show up till the next day at noon, roughly.
Yes.
So he had plenty of time, and he didn't clean up everything because the dad found the gold tooth.
Yeah, that's the main thing that takes away the theory is the gold tooth. The gold tooth being in there makes it definitive that these guys broke into the house.
So there you go.
Right, but still, think of it at the end. Whenever the parents come, they hug him. This is after the cops have seen him, after the old man has taken him home. There's never any follow-up to that. No police need to take statements, no nothing.
Because if there was no one to take the statements, I mean, obviously they would have where did the call from 911 come from? That'd be the only thing that I would say that would boggle that.
Yeah. But that's not like something, like
Unless
I
you
said,
called
that's
as because he had the voice changer. Unless it's like I'm an anonymous tipper type of thing, then at that point there is no follow up.
Well, I mean, it's not like when you do like police. It's not like they're gonna be like, all right, we gotta get every evidence in this same day, or it's not gonna go through. Like they already caught the guy, so they're like, well, we need the majority of what we need is already here. We could do the reports for it later. They say next day or day
Yeah,
after.
and plus it was Christmas Day.
They're gonna be like, okay, next day or whatever. We can once we have all this file information, then we can call and be like, hey, so you guys called us, like, you know, want to know what happened or what you saw.
Yeah, and plus, like I said, with the tooth being there, that cancels out the entire thing from it even being a theory. Because
What conspiracy theories do you have that are plausible?
the only one that I had that was plausible was the cautionary tale thing. Because it's a movie about being home alone, different ways the child would hurt himself.
Okay.
That was the one that I was leaning on heavily in terms of thinking seemed the most plausible to me.
Yeah.
I don't just sit around thinking of like what exciting thing can I think of. This is just like I said, when I'm watching it, I'm like, what's the angle I want to
Somewhere in
take?
your backyard.
Possibly,
Probably your dad or something, or Alfred.
probably your uncle and aunt who come over every day.
Home Alone all over again. Sister Sim trips.
The Wet Bandits.
Striking again.
Speaking of that, what was up with those guys?
The reason why they call themselves the Wet Bandits?
No.
Just them in general.
Just robbers.
Why do you want to bite Kevin's fingers off?
Just to scare him.
I
You
don't
think
know.
he was actually going to bite his fingers off?
I don't know. I
Just
feel like
trying
he
to-
was kind of into it. He was like, I'm gonna really bite these fingers.
Oh yeah. Haven't eaten in 2 days.
He's like, I'm gonna burn his head off or or something like that. And
Like they just did it to scare him.
Didn't you think it was a little weird how they were like fixated on the toys?
No, they were fixated on a lot of stuff. When they went to the other house, he was playing with the toy, but the other guy was stealing actual merchandise.
You're kind of just grabbing everything.
Yeah, they really did ransack the house.
Fair enough.
I mean, he was playing with the kaleidoscope when they were talking, when the answering machine went off.
Yeah. Wasn't he playing with like a train too?
We already
That
got
was
broken
Kevin.
into. Have you ever gotten broken into?
Not that I know of.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, when I was younger, yeah, but not like as an adult.
Like younger, like house, like they broke into the house, or like they tried to break into the house
They broke into the house while I was there.
while you were there.
Yeah.
What the fuck? So what happened?
I was
You were just on the couch watching TV.
yeah. It was 3 a.m. I was under 8, very young, and I remember seeing like the silhouette of a guy like walking around the house looking in the windows, and I remember him going onto our porch, ruffling through shit, pushing the lawnmower out the porch. And I remember I was too scared to wake up and tell anybody, so I just waited till the morning. When my dad woke up, he was like, "Where the fuck's the lawnmower?"
Yeah, I don't know.
Fuck if I know, Dad.
Huh.
Oh wow.
What about it though?
I was just like, since you were talking about the burglars, like never been like broken into or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was just asking just questions, sir. Conversation.
I honestly thought you were going somewhere with it.
Yeah, that's
No,
what I
I
was.
was
That's what I was inferring. I was like,
No, because you were just talking about the burglars. So I was like, oh, let me see if maybe you've ever gotten broken into. And I'd ask you like, oh, what do they steal? But I mean, you just said that it was a lawnmower, so I didn't have to ask that question. Because you were asking like, oh, like they were sitting on the toys, and then this guy was just taking everything. So I was like, well, maybe Chris has a story they got broken into, and maybe let's see what they stole.
I think the toy part maybe could have come from it was a children's movie, and that gives the children watching it more of a investment because they're like, oh my god, they're gonna steal my toys.
that's
You know?
valid. Okay, you see, because where my mind takes it, because I'm disgusting, like it's clear this guy's a pedo. He's too infatuated with children. But the way you just said it right there, that makes more sense.
You're like, that makes me feel better.
So I hear that.
I think it's just like a more.
You've purged my mind of the negative thoughts I had of the wet bandits.
Oh my goodness.
No
And
more
the
wet
other
bandits.
thing too is like if you think about it, they never had a gun. So clearly, and then again, I go back to it. It's a movie.
Well, yeah,
But
dude.
and
Yeah,
I'll
pull
go
a
back to
butt.
my original point. I think you guys are digging a lot deeper than the movie intended for it to go. Because if you dig too deep into it, you're like Inception level. Kids don't go down that deep. You just need a little dip, we're good. Little dip, we're good.
Well, no, I mean you got to take in the possibility that there are subliminals in it.
I'm sure every movie has some sort of subliminals in there, but I don't think this one has as many because it's a targeted. What was it rated? PG?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not saying it was
Look, man,
supposed to
we're
be
just-
this
we're
dark
just-
and evil thing, but even if you were to write a kids movie, would you really write a face value kids movie where it's just
Depends
pointless
on it
stupidity?
depends on my idea, because maybe I do write a movie like this. Maybe obviously I would make some changes, but maybe I do hit it on these angles because it depends on, like you said, what message you're trying to convey to the children, like the quote unquote, appreciate what you have, and how you're gonna deliver that vehicle where it's not just like watching the kids movie and the parents are snoring away, and you can keep both entertained. That's the reason why this has a lot of good scores, like you just mentioned, because it hit people when they were kids. When they rewatch it again as adults, they're like, man, it's pretty good, And that I think was the target for the director, not all this other extra shit.
Yeah.
Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to make a movie that's rewatchable and iconic. They don't give a damn about like this perplexed plot that people got to piece together 30 years after the fucking movie came out.
Well, imagine it's been 30 years and now we're sitting around a table talking about
Only
it.
because it's Christmas. We're not sitting around here middle of July talking about this movie. So
We
it's
could
not
have.
this revolutionary piece of
Bro,
art.
just because of that, in 6 months, Home Alone 2 is getting done on July.
Just because of you.
Which is a better movie.
We'll see.
Oh.
But no, so I don't have a whole lot more to add about this movie. You
Pedro
guys,
said Merry Christmas, guys. Merry
shout out
Christmas.
to the boy Pedro. Need to
Merry
make some more
Christmas.
beats, bro.
Merry Christmas beat.
There is a few conspiracy theories out there that I had like 10 on some fucking video, but they were so fucking whack. Like they said the dad's in the mafia.
don't
They're
see
saying
that.
that the old man represents some fucking spirit. That the two burglars weren't really people, that they were abnormalities or poltergeists or some shit. That's why they keep getting hurt and got back up. Just random shit like that. They're like, I'm telling you, people just reaching for shit that probably isn't really there.
It's called
Call-
clickbait, my friend.
Just calling you out, Chris.
Not even that.
Well, no, even with the Napoleon Dynamite
Yeah.
theory, admittedly, that's what I did.
No,
I
but
made up entire like stories to go along with shit.
I know.
That's what you do.
I'm saying it's calling you out.
But
doing
Which
that's,
is
but
what-
the thing is, it wasn't just one person. These were like multiple people posting random thoughts that were all similar. Like
Yes.
I guess one of the big ones is the Jigsaw guy. That's a really big one for these people in the Home Alone thing.
Yeah, and like I said, even with you, like for me personally, you cannot possibly make that connection because I
just
mean,
to have fun.
Yeah, and that's I mean, obviously they're not real people with real fucking consequences, but people were just going off the rails of how far their imaginations could go.
I will say though, but like I don't know how you seem like I don't know how you register those things. I register it as, oh, that's a fun idea.
I register it whenever I see stuff like
Super
that. I'm
idea.
like, is this logical?
So you're more like annoyed by it.
No, I'm not. I'm not like, God damn them and their stupid ass conspiracy theories. Or I'm just like,
I'm sure that's
how
you
could
are.
somebody believe this?
So basically,
True.
yes.
Well,
But
no,
I'm
even
not-
I would think that.
I'm not,
like,
I'm not from a hateful place. I'm just like, oh, that's stupid. Why would somebody believe that?
Yeah, like I would never. That's a lot of shit for me though. Like I would never fully throw all my eggs into a basket. Is that what you're meaning?
I would say you have to give me reasonable, not make it so that I don't have a reasonable doubt.
But you have some try to like convince the person. Have some like okay.
No, I'd just be like,
makes
hey,
sense.
listen, this is why I believe this.
Why?
You know, not just I believe this because I saw the movie and I interpreted it that way.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
But that's why I had the problem with what you were saying earlier. Like, it's not this is what I saw that made me believe this, and here is the progression of my thought. Not I saw this and I interpreted it this way. I have no proof.
Exactly.
You see what I'm
Interpretation, theory.
But you get what I'm coming
Yeah,
from. I
'cause
go
theory
to
is
the,
based upon facts.
I go to the left and you came from the right.
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I can't agree with what you guys were saying earlier.
No, yeah, that makes for a fun conversation. Like I said, so I appreciate the pushback upon it.
No, for sure.
Just don't be a dick.
Okay. But no, that's what I'm saying. Like it's not that. Obviously, this isn't this
And
prolific work.
I'm
of art.
projecting because of what I'm going through with the TikTok thing right now.
What is that?
Well, like I said, I have like 40 comments on the motherfucker. 40
Oh, that
of
you were
them are
reaching.
saying-
Did we get any comments for any of the other podcasts?
This is the only one that's been shared a lot. Because it's got like 30 shares.
Because
That's
it's
why
a
it's
cult
got
classic movie.
possibly that. And I think because it's a controversial opinion
What was your opinion?
that Napoleon Dynamite takes place entirely in purgatory.
That fucking place felt like purgatory.
Yeah. And then, but here's
Oh,
where
he
I
agrees.
now here's where
No,
I
because
fuck.
it's such a mundane place to. I bet you the suicide rate was insane wherever they lived.
And this is what pissed people off because I did what pisses you off, which is where now I start just like adding in these like, is the word allegories?
Uncle Rico was Satan.
Pretty much.
Oh my god.
Like, you know, the beginning of Napoleon. I'm going to repeat it. Fuck. You know, the beginning of Napoleon Dynamite when he has like the little wrestler guy, he throws him out the window, correct? And he's like dangling him on a string. as
Oh,
bus
on the
is going.
bus. Yeah.
So what I said was, I think that there's a possibility that all these characters are in purgatory. So they've all died. They're all spirits at this point, just living in this other plane. And how Napoleon died was that he was a kid who sat in the back of the bus, pushed open the door, and fell out. So him holding the little string with the wrestler guy is like him showing this kid like that's how his body was dragging behind the bus as he fell out of it.
Not plausible, but okay.
Exactly. It's literally fan fiction.
Yeah.
That's what I did was
You're
fan
like
fiction.
Chapter 1, Twilight rewrite by Chris.
Correct. But I put a video on YouTube that's got nearly 1,000 views just for that.
And that's
Plus,
cool.
it's got 15,000 views on TikTok.
I would say that's fine because you're just you're creating a world that out of another world, but I think you just need to have like a more thought out thing so people could get behind it. Like, damn, there is a little bit there. Oh, that's a pretty cool thing compared to that's fucking ridiculous. You know,
Help him
Well,
out
no,
there.
mind you, I got, like I said, so 40 comments. 40 of them are mostly saying a stretch, which I feel like those are neutral things.
Yeah.
It's not full on, oh, you're a retard or, oh, nothing. Then
Cancel
there's-
him.
So that's 30 of the 40. The other 10, 5 of them are like, yo, this is crazy. Yo, that's dope as fuck. Or, yo, this fits. And there's a minority of another 5. The 5, the hateful 5.
We don't talk about those.
We don't talk about those, right?
You
But-
take no credit.
So of the thousands of likes and the hundreds of reassurances that I've gotten that this is cool, what do you think holds more weight to me? Those 5 comments or the thousands of other positive reinforcements I've
So
gotten?
cliche to say this.
I would say both.
It's the 5.
It should be both.
Because
It should be both, but the 5 hold more weight.
Your
It's
negatives.
new to me.
Your negatives outweigh your positives because you hear the positives like, oh, that's cool, but then you hear that sticks to you, and kind of explains why they got rid of the whole like dislike button on YouTube because they're like, you know what, we're gonna push away from the negativity, guys. Focus on the positivities.
Yeah.
I don't like videos on YouTube. I don't like music videos on YouTube, so I can listen to that song again. I don't use it as a, ooh, I really like this video. I like it as a, I want to watch this again because I like the song type of thing.
That's fair.
I think that in itself is a lot of
A lot of people.
no, hold on, listen where we're going here. Like the -5 and the 45 that aren't negative, I think it's a balanced thing that you have to figure out where you have to take criticism. You can't just have a bunch of yes men.
Correct.
And you can also, like, I would say it may hurt to have people call you stupid, but you have to understand, like, look at the comment. Why are they calling you stupid? Maybe there's something there that you didn't see. Maybe there's plots or holes in your plot that they're like pointing out that you're like, oh, I can work on that. You know what I'm saying? So there's feedback there to be dig through.
I think it depends on the person, like on like how they're giving your criticism. Because like some people just be like, "Oh, you're a fucking idiot." I'd be like,
Yeah, there's
"Okay,
no
cool."
criticism there.
But it's like, oh, I don't agree with this because as your flaws on this and this and this. Be like, okay, I take that as criticism. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Well, there was one in particular that stuck. It was one dude. It was pretty much, and it
Did
wasn't
you-
even.
did you
It
just-
wasn't even
did you
the
just-
worst.
Did you just assume it's gender?
is it the one you showed me?
No,
Oh, okay.
it was one. It was just something along the lines of like, one. He made 2 comments. The first one is like, yeah, oh, this is dumb. I don't see how people buy this. Second one was like, the fact that you think you have a good podcast. I don't know why that one like. That's like
Bro,
not
probably like
even
some
bad,
fucking
bro.
12-year-old kid somewhere in his room watching it as he's gonna like.
He's a
take it.
40-year-old
But-
man.
but-
Looks like a homie dog.
But here's the thing, though. He still had the audacity to comment and give you
Twice.
clap for it.
Correct.
So-
Which is how I'm kind of like rationalized. That's the kind of the benefit of doing this is like, you know,
You should
almost a
take it. Let me
30-year-old
tell you
man.
how you should take it. Somebody watch my podcast.
I know. I'm like, and what I'm fighting also to do right is I'm not going to, because I've
Start
seen,
blocking
guys
people.
who like have businesses and where people are like saying, "Oh, service here sucks." Then the owner gets on there, "Fuck you, bro! Don't come back to my place." Da da da. Da. I don't want to be that guy.
I would be awesome. I wish every time I left a bad review, somebody would say that shit. I would be ready because the places that I leave bad reviews for deserve it.
It's
I'd
those
be like,
people
let me
that-
pull up.
It's like those people that are like, we hate this, and then you're like, you tell them why you shouldn't or logical reasons why you shouldn't. They're like, no, we still hate this no matter what type of thing. It's like one of those where it's like, I hate your podcast. Your podcast sucks, but then they'll go in the next video. Your podcast still sucks or whatever, and people be like, no, it's good. Like, I don't care. It sucks to me.
But that's good though because you know what that does? That resonates comments on your videos. So
Yeah.
you don't lose. Like that's what you need to figure out, Chris. Regardless of if it's good or bad, you're not losing because you're getting clicks, you're getting views, and you're getting
Pedro
comments.
said, F that guy. You know what? F that guy.
You should be like, hey,
My boy
you
Pedro.
you
Take it
need
up.
to if you feel a certain way, put it in the comments and have a conversation with whoever's on there and flesh it. Like you need to stimulate conversations on
That
your
is true, though.
videos.
Interaction with your people.
Not even
I do.
not even that. I'm not saying that you need to do it. But the thing about it is, whenever you post a video, if they talk shit about it or they don't talk shit about it, as long as they're talking about it, you're winning. So you're looking at it in the wrong sense. You're looking at it as criticism, and they're calling you a piece of shit or whatever, bad podcaster. But you're not looking at the you're winning because they're giving you what you aren't getting, even if you were an amazing podcaster, is comments, views, likes, dislikes. You're getting traction.
And I'm not dwelling on this like singular thing, correct? What I'm thinking more of as
You're right,
is
Calvin. Exactly right. That's exactly what people I'm talking about, too.
they hate us because they ain't us. No, but I'm looking at it in the bigger scheme of things, right? This was just like not even pulling back
Thank
the
you, Pedro.
curtain slightly, bro.
Appreciate
This is peeking through a fucking hole.
Think about it like this: who's your favorite artist musically?
Let's go with. I was born in the
No, just give me the person.
mid 2000s. Blink 182. I love.
Are you
pop
serious?
Punk. Yeah, bro.
Okay, that's a good one. So,
I was
could
gonna
you
say- I was like,
could
where's
you
that
say
going?
confidently that Blink-182 have never made a bad song?
No,
Why? You're a fan. That's your biggest group.
because objectively, I mean, I don't like every song.
Exactly. You see how you feel about that?
Yeah.
That's how you should feel about your podcast.
No, but what I'm saying is, I know I need to mentally prepare myself for, like, say if we start having videos that
Like-
are
like-
getting
like-
on the regular to thousands of views, there's going to be more.
Right, but think about it like this: Adam's song, right? You know what Adam's song is?
Yes.
It fucking bores me.
You are the devil.
Exactly. I'll go on and be like, "This song is fucking whack," not to say another word. You know,
There's apple juice in the halls, bro.
right? They're like, "Oh, well,
It was deep.
yeah, okay." And they're like, "Oh, well, this song helped me through whatever depression." Or whatever. I'm like, dude, go fuck yourself. I don't care. This song sucks. That's my opinion. Does that mean that I won't go on first date and be like, "Oh, this song is funny," or "Oh, this song is great"?
Yeah.
Right. So maybe you need to think about it like that. Like, it's not like a condemnation whenever they tell you that one's maybe that sucked. Maybe that idea sucked. Maybe you put out another video and they're like, "Yeah, that one was pretty good." But what the thing about it though is whenever you're getting these negatives like that, you're getting interest and you're getting traction that you would never have gotten regardless.
Chris,
And
let me ask you something.
and I think that's the point you're missing. You're missing out on what you're gaining. You're focusing on maybe something that might hurt your work in the future because maybe you won't be the same way because you're like, "Oh, these people don't like it." And now you start getting conscious about it.
So this dude literally just said that someone was like, "Hey, this helped me do depression." He's like, "Fuck yourself, I don't care." If someone was told you, "Hey, this podcast really helped me with that," would you be like, whatever? Or you'd be like, "Oh, I really appreciate that."
I would really appreciate that.
So
Where are you going with this, Alex?
I don't know. Just that comment was kind of like, okay, it's got a little fucked up to say, but okay. Anyways,
But-
Well, no, my boy Pedro in the comments, he said, "I think this is an amazing podcast, and I get hyped every time I get the notification." I appreciate shit like that. That's why we're doing this, bro. Is to be fucking.
Imagine some guy
entertaining
gets
at
on
the
there,
end
it's
of the
like,
day.
"Chris, you're fat and I hate you."
Well, I wouldn't feel it. That'd just be random.
I think I guess I'm looking at it in a different view of lenses that you see it in, and that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Think about it like this. Think about it like in your business class. Put on your business glasses. You're like, okay, this guy doesn't like it. Like, imagine you go like, okay, I'll give you another one. You go to McDonald's, right? And you see the commercial, and it's a nice looking burger. You're like, oh, I'm gonna get that. You go there, and then you get this fucking burger that you're like, nah, I didn't look that shit in the commercial. You're like, fucking McDonald's, and comments, they're like, oh, cool, but you still pay for it, so we don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And no, and like what I'm trying to say.
And then your ass goes back to McDonald's a couple days later, knowing, and you still watch it, and you still get it.
True, but no, what I'm trying to say is, I think what this felt like to me was a flick on the forehead. It wasn't even like the first punch in the face, because that's going to be coming. Like I'm saying, in the future, if these videos start to get thousands upon thousands of views on the regular, the comments are going to stream in on the regular. So I'm mentally.
You're not
like,
gonna have enough time to filter through every freaking comment.
Exactly. Or actually, no. I'm gonna try. Just because that's my personality, I need affirmation. That's my personality, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
the obviously the bigger you get, the harder it's gonna be. But I mean, if for a small channel starting off, I mean, they would help a lot to be able to do that. Obviously, once you get to like the higher views, you won't be able to get to everybody. But at least that way they'll be like, oh, this guy actually cares about his viewers and actually interacts with his viewers, you know. And not just be like, I'm doing this podcast for me and, I don't care what
Dude,
any of you guys
speaking
say.
of that, you have not said jack shit to those dudes in chat. Like, they've been typing their asses off, and you're like,
I'm the one that does it.
not even like a hello or anything.
Typing back?
I mean, he
Yeah.
knows his people.
Well, no, I know him. Yeah, Calvin's in there, bro. I'm seeing it all. He knows we're preaching, bro.
And
And
even,
Pedro, I commented on him with the amazing
and
podcast
even, and
thing.
even if he misses it or he's talking to something, I'll be the one that interacts with them so that way they still have like.
Yeah, but you're not here every day.
No, I'm looking down, though. I'm aware of it. I got my phone on the fucking chat.
Just food for thought, Chris.
No, I know. And, fucking, where was I going? I just blanked.
Boo, I'm not in your
You're
mind.
you're giving a motivational speech right now.
Yeah. No, I'm a very pragmatic person.
I
That's
think
I was
what you
gonna
need
say.
to do, and this is honest advice, you need to surround yourself with people that are not all on the same boat as you. Not in the sense that they don't want the podcast to be successful, but all in the same point as they don't all see the world through your eyes. So you can get people's experiences on different things, and maybe you can reach a subject you're like, no, that's not a good idea. They can pull you out of it, or you're like, oh, no, you know what, that's a pretty good idea. But at least there's constructive feedback instead of being everybody like, yeah, that's a good idea. Do it.
Well, here's the thing. I like your energy of that, but I also like not necessarily the yes man, but I like blowing the guy's mind. You're not easily impressed, I feel,
No.
at all.
No.
See, because I could tell other people things, and they're gonna go, "Holy shit!" Like if I just opened up some fucking.
Did you know that
eye.
whiskey tastes like peanut butter? What?
Yeah, they opened the third eye. I think that's because that's my personality type. I'm easily impressed because I haven't seen a lot.
Did that whiskey impress you?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Bro, it tasted like fucking peanut butter, just like from the
was
Lord's
smooth.
nuts.
So here's the thing, though. You also have to realize you don't have to impress everybody. So like necessarily just because you can't it doesn't. He's very hard.
Well, no,
to
no,
impress.
mind
Doesn't mean
you,
you have to impress them.
I'm of the age, bro, to where I don't feel like I need to necessarily impress
You don't
anybody.
need to impress anybody because you're
Exactly.
a grown ass man.
Exactly.
The only people you need to impress is Bella.
No, but where I was going, where you guys
It's
have
not
cut
even
me
her.
off, is I'm
Yeah,
a
just
fairly
be like magic trick.
I'm a pragmatic person. I look at things very objectively. I can disassociate
Do you,
myself.
though?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why I can falter my my stances and shit.
Okay.
I'm not like firm on anything.
Do you guys need to push this podcast more on TikTok? All you do is viral.
All you need is
moment.
one viral moment. Hey, we're getting there, Pedro.
I have no
Slowly.
idea how TikTok works.
To be fair, I mean, I guess that's true because I don't know, because I don't have a TikTok, so I don't follow you on TikTok. But it's like I know you would post your TikToks on the Instagram page, and I would share it. And since you haven't done any of that, I can't share anything at all.
I know. It's just that TikTok's the only thing that's biting right now.
TikTok is
So-
probably the most popular social media platform.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I said, we jumped from my videos averaging a couple hundred views. The big ones would average 1,000. The biggest one did 4,000. Last one did 15,000.
I think you should be a jack of all trades when it comes to that. Do them all, and then do what feels right. Don't cater to anybody, because when you're catering to people, you're not going to be doing what you originally wanted to do.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm very conscious of what I feel like is a bankable clip. I know what conversation is.
I don't think
going
you're at
to-
the point where you're bankable yet. Like getting a few views like that, you're not even partnered yet. Once you get
Not
partnered,
by bankable, I'm talking about in terms of clout.
Oh.
Like
I think
'cause I
that-
called it like Babe Ruth. Did I not say this is going to be a big thing?
Yeah, you did.
And it was, because I'm conscious of I feel like is good content. I've done this long enough. I have
Yeah.
a good.
You have a
eye
good
for what it
understanding.
is.
You have a good understanding of when's a good moment, what's in a good podcast, when is a bad moment in a bad podcast.
So then you think that going on TikTok fully was the move?
I think it was.
Because I mean,
'Cause
well,
I've
you have
garnered
like
stream
400
it,
now,
How do you
isn't
stream
it?
it hard on TikTok like that?
No,
I
he
post-
doesn't mean stream like, but he means like posting
videos.
Posting videos.
I
of,
thought you were
like,
already doing that.
I did.
Yeah,
I've been doing
that's what I'm
it.
saying.
I've garnered almost 500 fucking followers on the motherfucker.
Oh.
And
He's
that's
just trying to like find a way where you can get those views to go onto the YouTube channel.
because say if I get 1,000 people, right
Well,
now
you
I
can
start
get-
spamming fucking. that I'm,
It's like getting views on fucking Facebook. Like not everybody uses that platform though. So you're not gonna have, your audience transition through every fucking app. you know?
Exactly. That's my point that I was gonna make, is that I was hoping for this raindrop trickle effect, which I'm gonna be
It totally
completely.
did.
I'm gonna be transparent about. It's not as good as I thought it was gonna be.
It's there because it has. I have noticed
think
it.
that's where your different content comes into play. I think what you need to do is you need to analyze how can I utilize each platform. So like Twitch, you start doing your gameplays there. Hey, you guys, you do a video. Hey, you guys want to watch gameplay of me playing fucking Resident Evil? Oh, I'll be on Twitch this time. Oh, we're gonna do a podcast. You want to watch it on YouTube? Oh, we're gonna watch it on TikTok. Whatever. I think you need to learn how to utilize each one, and not
basically promote
umbrella
or
term at all.
Basically promote it. Be like, hey guys, I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow at this time if you're interested in watching or something like that. Or hey, I'm gonna post a stream on my podcast on YouTube or whatever.
I'm definitely still novice at like promotion. Like I said, the content is something that's coming more naturally to me. But in terms of how to market myself, I'm still working the kinks out on that.
Probably
clearly.
because it's just not. It's weird to you.
I would say your first year is going to be a lot of learning, like hard crashes and learning. Once you get your wheels rolling on it, I think that's when you'll start getting the gist of it.
This podcast stands out. It has its own aesthetic. I mean, it's not wrong because I mean, really, what other podcast is like this?
Yeah, I feel like I definitely pushed the next step in terms of
mean-
what's it called?
I mean, think of it this way. Like,
Production.
remember the first podcast we did last year with Moy? It's already been a year. I look where we went from there to now.
Yeah, effort.
Yeah.
It's not like I went from 1 subscriber to like thousands of subscribers, but you mean from even that point you went from like 1 to like what 66 now?
Climbing.
Exactly. So it's like,
Next year it'd be 120, 180.
and then
more.
like you said, I mean, how we first started up in your living room, and then made this whole room just just for this. It's like just slowly growing. It's like you see little achievements, and you're like, all right, now I gotta go to the next one, and you just gold building basically at that point.
Yeah, and I think we had the benefit of we've done this for a year before we started doing these live streams. Like I feel like there was good content in there, but a lot of those felt like practice runs to me, figuring out the formula. And I think
that's what it was.
This is a lot more organic. Feels a lot more fluid and natural.
It was more like let's try it out and see how it goes. Now it's more like I know what I'm like. I know what I like, and I'm going to stick to that and build with that.
Yeah, I mean it's a tricky thing that we know very little about. Because you don't know, maybe tomorrow you fucking blow up. You're like the next TikTok guy, you know?
That could be true.
But where I was going at with the whole thing about the comments, right, is there was a very brief moment where I was like, do I want this?
What do you mean?
Like I said, just in terms of the negative comments, even for half a second, there was this brief moment where it was.
Get in there, Chris.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm human, bro.
He has emotions.
I'm a love not numbers guy.
He's a winter bear.
Husky bear.
I mean, think of it that way. Like the most famous or the most subscribed YouTuber that you watch. I mean, you have all these comments that are like positive vibes, but it's like you're gonna have the ones that are super negative. People that are still subscribed, but all they do is just on their videos be like, "Your shit sucks" or whatever. Like no matter what, but they're gonna be more hidden because
I love that movie, but it fucking sucks.
so it's like no matter what, you're gonna have it.
I'm reading the comments.
I'm on my way for my shot.
Who is that? Chip?
That's Calvin.
It's Calvin.
Chipotle's son, who also games and plays Madden.
Follow him on Twitch also.
I've seen him do great things on Madden. I've also seen him do not so great things. Tune in for both of them.
I think we've all been there.
I think that's going to be your biggest hurdle, Chris, is figuring out how to massively produce content for what you're trying to convey, in a sense. Like, your podcast thing is its own realm, you know? And then say that you do start doing the Twitch thing, and it takes off. Like, the thing about it is you're going to be 3 different Chris's. You know, you're going to have your podcast Chris, your TikTok Chris, and then your Twitch Chris.
At that point, it's like you're like, all right, I'm gonna chill and game for a little bit. If you guys want to come and watch, I'm gonna post it, whatever. The podcast one's like, this is my. I'm gonna try to make it, and then for your TikTok one's gonna be you promoting both of those. It's like when you don't have I don't have a podcast this week because I don't have anybody or I don't want to do it by myself. I'm gonna stream though so I can get some content out of it. So if you guys are interested in that, watch it. But you're gonna still be the same person. You're not gonna I'm gonna be a whole new person that I'm Twitch streaming.
I think you missed my point.
For example, I got a comment on TikTok just now. It's a guy who spelled out the word reach with like 30 letters.
For this podcast?
No,
his Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, it's still fucking doing numbers.
But that's good, though. You know what you just said?
You
got
said,
a guy that watched your video and
if you need
commented.
help with anything, you could always hit my line. There you go. You have the support repo.
Did you hear what I said?
Repeat it.
You
like,
missed the
fuck you.
whole point of that.
We don't care what you
just
think.
got a guy to watch your video and comment on it. And maybe he talks to his friends about it, and he's like, man, I just saw this whack-ass podcast. Oh, let me send it to you so you can watch it. You know what you just did? You got more viewers and maybe people that agree with you. But you're missing the point. You're getting more viewers, more circulation, more comments.
Yeah. And I feel that. And like I said, I'm trying to disassociate myself from that specific thing. But
I mean,
does it really bother me? Is it going to keep me up at night? No. But it's definitely a back thought, bro. No, I'm reaching still. It was definitely even leading up to this movie. Like I said, I didn't want to talk too much about the Jigsaw thing because that's
a big one.
Yeah.
What does that say?
Okay.
Oh, he's commenting on the guy who's saying my shit is reaching.
I was like, got a proofread before.
Yeah.
What is that? Let me see what other whack shit he has.
Now they're looking through all your videos. Maybe one video wins over a friend, and so on.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's saying that if the
Basically
dude
what
doesn't
he was
like
saying.
one video, he's gonna go through and then.
But you're winning.
You're a winner, Chris.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to win.
I think that's the thing. Like, you're like, you know what? I'm not saying engage with them. Be like, why do you think I fucking suck? But be like, we've had people on the comments.
There you go.
Talking-
Winner, chicken dinner.
And no, and like I said, and the way I'm weighing it out in my brain, right, is I made a Reddit post involving this.
Let me ask you this, Chris. This is going to help you figure this shit out. Done, viewed. You rather have 0 comments or 1 comment that's negative, and 1 view?
We probably want that negative view.
Okay, then you're done. My point.
Just like his comment, and that's it.
Yeah,
So-
give him a like. Be like, why do you think that? And keep,
I mean, you could do that, or it was like, if anything, the negative was just like it, so that way they were like, oh, he saw my shit, but I'm not gonna continue with the stupidity either.
Yeah.
And
He's
just,
not gonna call you crazy.
but they'll be like, oh, he interacted with my comment, and talk shit.
At the end of the day, it's not like he fucking hates you. It's not like he wishes the world to end in your, your dimension.
Okay, so what I was saying was, I made the TikTok post. It's got nearly 1,000 fucking hearts. People either liked it
It's
or just
fan
appreciate
fiction,
the
Chris.
comment.
It's fan fiction.
And on Reddit, the post I made has got 1,000 fucking upvotes. So there's my positive affirmation. That's thousands upon
Dude,
people
look,
fucking saying it's dope.
Listen, I have a Reddit. You know what I post on my Reddit?
Stupid shit.
No, I post a collection or a little picture of Pokemon cards. Like yesterday, I posted all the secret rare energies. I got 200 some likes. Didn't read a goddamn comment. I don't give a fuck what they have to say.
Right, but you're posting items. I'm posting my fucking thoughts.
But sometimes people will post shit, and I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Why would you post this? People are mean on anything.
No, I'm aware of that. And like I said, that's why I have a benefit of doing this older as opposed to being a younger person with no fucking realization that, okay, this isn't real life. This person doesn't really know me, all that bullshit, right?
And then you can't read emotion through text.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like I'm saying though, that's how I'm registering this all is yes, on this one particular little 20-minute conversation we had, which I turned into a 1-minute clip that people are reacting to.
Because think about it like this. Also,
So
imagine he's like, "Oh, dude, you're reaching," and then he's like, "Ah, bro, you're reaching." It's different. One's like, "You're fucking up." The other one's like, "Nah, bro, I don't know. Convince me." You know what I mean?
So you're saying that you post something and you're like, you don't care what people say, but then you'll go and tell the people to be like, this fucking sucks. Like, I don't care what.
Yeah, because
Isn't that being a hypocrite?
No, because I'm going on there to comment. I don't give a my picture is just my picture. Like I could care if they were all negative comments. Like, oh, you said mine sucked. I'm gonna say yours sucked.
Like nobody's thinking.
Thanks, bro.
It's literally his immediate thought. It's not nothing you're dwelling on. It's not personal. It's literally this is his gut reaction. Bam, moving on.
I'd never look at. I'd never post a post on a post and then go back and look it over to see if they commented or wait on there to see if anything happened. Like I could give 2 shits. Like I see it, I'm like, I don't like this collection, or oh, you do the clout chaser.
But
Boom,
you go
done.
on other people's stuff and be like, this sucks.
Do you have a Reddit?
No.
Do you know how it works?
Yeah.
So you can't avoid people's comments whenever you open it. You're literally gonna see if it's like the newest post. Every time you'll see it.
Yes. But what I'm pretty much getting at is it's just a muscle.
Oh, I just saw that.
It's a muscle. I know. Fits in it. It's a muscle I want to flex. That's all it is. Because it's new to me. It's something. It's a new experience.
Your rebuttal to everything should be like, make your own goddamn podcast.
What's your idea?
What do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. That should be the reply. Well, what the fuck is your thought?
Yeah, and then maybe
People are going to hate
what I'm
smart
trying to
people
get, Chris.
because, they will see it and bring it up on podcasts.
Let's
They know
listen
exactly
to
what they
this
want.
this way.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
You get a negative comment and you say that, and then the guy explains himself, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna bring it up in my next video. You just got free content. You got to utilize all of that and cultivate it, not just dwell on it.
No, I know. And I also want to point out to what Alex just said about how we bring this up. This will be the one time I'm discussing this because I want to be kind of authentic and transparent about this startup. But for the most part, I'm just not going to talk about it. But it just felt relevant in this moment to bring up because it's something weighing on my mind.
Well, it's also something to talk about because you're not a fucking machine,
Right.
And people can relate to it.
I do feel like a lot of it, though, is projecting confidence to people, not even acknowledging this kind of stuff. Which, is a strength. It is a positive, which I'm going to do. But at this moment, this is the one time I want to get this out there.
Maybe this is your viral clip right here.
Are you going to be like, I'm going to acknowledge it, or are you going to be like, I'm not going to acknowledge it?
I'm going to acknowledge it,
And
but
then
on
end
the
of the day-
platform, this will be one of the rare times that I acknowledge it. Of course, in terms of feedback and shit, I'm going to receive all of that, and it's just what it is.
End of the day, going forward from here on out, is it going to be, I'm going to acknowledge everything that everyone says, or are you going to be like, I'm just going to acknowledge what I want to acknowledge?
Well, that's an inherent response. It's not something I feel like I can control at this current time.
You're gonna have an itch to read the comments.
There you go. He wants to drop a diss track.
Let's drop a diss track. Drop a beat, bro. I got you.
He's like, I'll send to you right now. Let's rap on it right now, live.
What was the name of the guy that left the comment? Said Reach, like his username.
Oh, dude, there's hundreds. Not hundreds. There's like 30 of them.
Like, what would be one? Like, what was the one that you pulled up?
We got Dario.
Yeah, we're gonna start diss track, Dario diss track. You know who you should watch to see how he reacts to people talking shit to him? Dr. Disrespect. Because he has a video where this little kid talks shit about him, right? So he clicked on this thing and it had a Twitch channel. So he goes to the Twitch channel and he pulls up. It's like the guy's name was like Gazelle Man or whatever. He's like, oh, I bet this dude is like a 12-year-old, fucking skinny as can be. And he had an Instagram page. Clicks on the Instagram page, 20-year-old or a 12-year-old skinny little white kid. He just starts roasting him, and that's how he takes his criticism. I'm not saying you go on a roasting spree and start hating on people, but you gotta have an outlet. You can't just bottle that shit up either.
True that. But boys, one last thing I want to add about Home Alone. Just jumping back 20 fucking minutes.
40 minutes.
So the actor that played his brother Buzz, he was in the news recently.
Was he?
Because apparently there's some new movie they've released in this franchise called Sweet Home Alone or some shit. Or
I
Home
saw that.
Sweet Home Alone.
No.
Yeah.
So apparently the actor that plays Buzz plays the dad in it.
Oh.
And he was like on some tour promoting the movie. He was doing some like fan giveaway where like you can watch this movie with him and you'll eat mac and cheese, some other food from the first movie. I can't think of it.
Milk and some shit.
The Gator Tates or whatever the chips were called.
Yeah. All that shit.
Uh-huh.
So he was in the news because apparently he like strangled his girl in like the hotel room. Didn't kill her, but he got arrested for like domestic assault. Just thought that was a little fun fact to bring up. Merry Christmas, Buzz.
What a downer to bring up to.
Oh yeah, and one last thing I brought up is something I talked about last night. Is this lady was telling me this about what she cooks for Christmas, right?
Uh-huh.
Where?
Like what she cooks for Christmas.
What she cooks for her family for Christmas.
Oh.
And apparently, like, her husband's from the South, right? So she's like, I make Italian food every Christmas. Lasagna, spaghetti, or some shit.
Uh-huh.
And when she first met the dude, he wouldn't eat her fucking lasagna. Because she makes the sauce separate, so it's spaghetti probably. So he's like, I can't eat your sauce. I can only eat my mother's sauce. And she was like, I don't get why. She goes to live with his family. After a while, of course, he started eating it. But now she's over down in the South visiting his family. None of them fuckers are touching her sauce. And nobody can tell her why they don't. They're just like, we don't eat other women's sauce. Comes back here, she talks to a guy from the South. Apparently in the South, there's a superstition that because of voodoo, that it's their urban legend or whatever, that women are going to try to put like a hex on them by putting their period blood into the sauce.
Nice.
To try to get them to like fall in love with them and shit.
Yeah, we glanced over it, Pedro.
Have you been over conspiracy theories? Yes, they are in there.
So let me run it back. So people in the South is a big place, think that if you eat another woman's spaghetti, she put her period blood in it.
Any type of
What if
red
they're
food.
already past menopause?
No, it works for in terms of anything.
Oh.
If it's brown food, they wipe their shit in it.
Oh, okay.
There's actual like I've got the fucking online thing here.
Stay away from that horchata.
Menstrual master chefs.
Okay.
These are comments people have left. Yes, many people use a tampon, kind of like a tea bag, and cook with it. For instance, a pot of beans and then pull it out.
Okay.
Cool.
He asked me to cook rice for him. I was on my period. I removed my pad and stuck it inside the water to make sure the blood matched in the water. I added my urine into the water and made stew for him. He came back and ate the food without knowing. My question is, did I do the right thing?
What? Okay.
You know that's if she has a disease, that's attempted manslaughter or attempted murder.
For a lot of things. You
Yeah.
spit on somebody, you have an STD. That's fucking same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just confessed to them if she has anything. Even if she has any sort of sickness, like she confessed to a crime.
Well, I'm going to share the screen for this shit.
I'm nobody's bitch.
I didn't mean to hit that button, guys. But I'm nobody's bitch.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Today we were just casually. I've been dating this Italian girl for 2 years now. Today we were just casually talking after banging. And she asked me, do you ever wonder why we fell in love? I told her, I guess it was meant to be. She says she made it so, and I asked her how. She goes on to say that once a month when she's on her period, she puts her menstrual blood in the
Guarantee you.
spaghetti sauce she feeds me.
Guarantee you, every single one of these people is white.
It's actually a African American thing because it's voodoo.
Is it?
Yes, it's voodoo.
Is it? I guess isn't voodoo Haitian?
Yes, Haitian type shit. That like hoodoo stuff or whatever it's called.
Interesting.
I was grossed out, immediately started gagging. She told me it was an old secret her grandma gave her that she thought I would find sexy.
Oh, okay.
So your woman reveals this after years of you guys dating. What's the move?
mean, you've
That
been
she
eating
put her
it.
period blood in my spaghetti?
Yeah.
You've been eating that shit for years now.
I guess. I think at that point, I already took the loss.
It's delicious, babe.
I fucking took the loss already. Ain't much to say.
Do you tell her don't continue to do it, please?
Then it doesn't taste the same. Like, man, this spaghetti
It's
fucking
missing
sucks,
something, bro.
Yeah. And your spaghetti was hitting last month, but this month, god damn, it sucks.
That's
But yeah, I don't know. I just thought this was a nice little
I'm not-
weird fun fact.
I think this is just a bunch of fucking people just making shit up. I
It's
could go
possible,
on there,
bro,
I
but-
could go on there and be like, I peed in the fucking Hy-Vee lemonade I bought, and then I drank it myself, and then I got high, and then I got.
Pedro says you have one conspiracy, but it's a very strange topic that's gotten people shadow banned.
What do you got,
Home
Pedro?
Alone?
I don't know if you meant Home Alone or just in general.
Oh, but
Do you want to get shadow banned?
Why not? I mean, we're not really on not banned yet.
That's true.
can't get put off if you're not already on.
As we wait, go on.
True. So you, I don't know. So you think it's all made up? Or
I
just
would-
those particular stories
Think
could
about
be
it like
made
this.
up.
I wouldn't
You-
be surprised.
Like, did she eat it also? She made the spaghetti. And she's like, I'm cool.
She probably did.
That's not a red flag.
I mean, it's her own blood.
Still,
I mean, you're swallowing your own spit.
do you drink your own blood when you bleed?
When I was a child, I tried it.
Do you still do it now?
No.
Oh, okay.
He said he sent it. It'll freak you out.
What does it say?
Look into.
The Germano effect.
Okay, I'm gonna look into this and actually come back with it, because I got something to do soon, so I don't want to like
No.
deep dive into some
No,
shit.
for sure.
But I will definitely look into this, Pedro, and we're gonna cover this if I deem it strange enough. Which the way you're gassing it up, I hope it is.
You
Hope
should just
and high
make.
hope.
You should. Here's an idea. That the old boy just gave me. Maybe you should venture your podcast from just movie reviews to like conspiracy theories or other things. Like, you know how you do your recent news thing?
Yeah.
Like, have a podcast where you just talk about.
Well, he
Topics.
doesn't do just movies anymore. But I guess with you, he feels like he has to do movie reviews.
Not
Is
necessarily.
he speaking for you?
No. What I like, I've realized, is I like the movies because it kind of gives me an outline.
Yeah, but you can make an outline from anything.
Well,
True.
that's the thing, because it's like I noticed with Gus, you do a movie, but with anybody else, you don't really do a movie.
Well, no, that's just something I'm doing in general. Like, I've been on a roll now for like about 3 or 4. I love the Willy Wonka one. I love Napoleon Dynamite. I really enjoyed this Home Alone one. Mm-hmm. So these are fun avenues I'm actually enjoying taking. And
Plus,
just
it's content that's easy to alley oop into.
yes. And it's already an audience for it, so trying to bring a new angle.
Was
to
there an
different
audience for
subjects.
The Witch?
Probably not. That was specifically for me, bro. That was a me podcast.
Delete it and save it onto a hard drive. Just watch it over and over.
Do you know how I came? I told you how I came up with that. I was thinking about pilgrims one day, and I was like, I want to
Witch.
talk about pilgrims.
I forgot what
Witch.
we were talking about yesterday, and Denise was talking about some old lady, and I was like, "Isn't Chris scared of old lady?" She's like, "Yeah, haggard old women." She specifically mentioned haggard. I was like, "Damn, he really like that's the hard hitting point, haggard."
Yeah.
That's funny to me,
That's why I get like weirded out going to IHOP on Sundays.
dude.
Everyone got IHOP gift cards.
I'm all eating my fucking pancakes like with one eye off to the side.
Especially looking around. Wait a minute, these pancakes taste a little different today. Are you from the South, sir?
Ain't it, bro? Have I covered flat Earth? No, I haven't, but I have thoughts about it. Not
Another day.
necessarily.
We can talk about that another day.
Yeah. We'll get into it, Pedro. I'll come back with flat Earth for you.
What's up? I can debunk that in fucking 10 minutes.
Okay.
Not even 2. Give me 2 minutes. Let's go like this, Pedro. We believe in sunsets. If you say yes, there you go.
I also believe in TV screens, which I think is in the sky. But anyways,
TV screens.
another day.
like in Hunger Games. They had the dome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a sun setting in the fucking.
And
Hunger Games,
Godzilla
bro.
did it too. King Kong versus Godzilla did it too because they put Kong into the dome. Mm-hmm. So that's 2 movies that have done it.
Kong's dick probably knocked over McDonald's also
There was no McDonald's in the woods or the jungle.
when he went to the city.
I don't remember that movie like that. No, they went to Tokyo.
Oh, that was a different Kong. That was the X-rated one. My bad.
yeah. But-
I think I'm gonna.
That was when he fought Godzilla.
you've been watching some movies that are not
I've been watching them bootlegs.
not licensed movies. There you go.
The B-rated movies,
B-track movies right off the
the
bat.
Bollywood movies. There you go.
Yo, those Bollywood movies, if you're into musicals and dancing, they're not bad.
I watched the fucking what's the big one on Netflix? It's big as Bobby. I can't say the word.
There's one called The Bang. It's like Bollywood movies don't fall into any categories of American movies type of thing. Like it's an action movie where it's like a funny movie. It's a cop guy, and like they also sing and dance. There's always singing and dancing, but it's a funny movie and it's an action movie, but it's like ridiculous.
Godzilla's stepsister. It's not on Netflix. Pedro's seen it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's an interesting world to look into and be like, wow, this people do things differently, and it's not a big market for it in America unless you're like in the Hindu market of Bollywood. But other than that, like it's an interesting way to look at movies that you are not used to watching. Like they don't make A, B, C, D like they would in American cinematography.
I've seen one and I have thoughts. So maybe we will do like a really famous one or some shit just to like get an initial reaction from it.
Yeah, the thing about it is like you lose a lot by not speaking the language.
True.
You lose a lot of emotion.
It's like translation for everything, though.
Yeah, but you don't get the same emotion. Depth.
It's like when Japanese anime comes out and they're like someone dubs it in English and it's like it's not
Well,
the
no,
same.
and here's a perfect example. Have you seen Narcos Mexico? Narcos Mexico, I've watched it with no sound, and I've watched it when they speak Spanish. It's a different show. Mm-hmm. It's a different show.
Well, kind of like they said for Squid Games, right?
Yeah.
I saw the dub in Squid Games. I didn't watch the actual one.
I heard that the subtitles were not accurate, so I just watched it in English.
Yeah, I've heard the dub changes like the atmosphere of the entire show.
But that I can say happened in Narcos. When that last scene, you're just reading it, you're like, oh, he just seems upset.
Yeah,
but when you watch that last scene in Spanish, you're like, dude, this motherfucker that was dope.
The only thing I can think of, like for one, like is the opposite is Cowboy Bebop. But they said the Japanese one isn't as good as the American dub one was.
I have no idea.
I thought you were talking about the TV show, which got canceled already.
Not that. I'm
After
talking
a
about the
fucking
anime.
week.
I'm talking about the anime because I remember hearing about the like Japanese one's alright, but the American dub version of it is like better.
I have a question for you. Is that black square lit on your stream live right now?
Oh, shit. Yeah, it still is. My bad. No, it's not.
I don't know how long that was there until I looked to the left.
It was there for a good 5 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
All
Rookie
right, there, guys.
mistakes.
Listen. So, follow the TikTok, follow the Instagram, Death Taco Pod. Email me at deathtacopod@gmail.com. Also, follow us on Twitch, where this is streaming live currently, as is on YouTube. All Death Taco Podcast. So, with that being said, Gus, thank you. Mm-hmm. Alex, thank you.
He's like,
Pedro, Calvin, all the guys in the fucking chat and shit.
or girl.
Shout outs to Obama watching in the chat.
Shout out to Donald Trump.